We're live. Da, 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 da. Spell it. Hello, Harry Potter fans, and welcome to this fourth audio fan commentary for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, directed by Mike Newell, released in 2005, and is the fourth film based on the very big fourth book in the series, The Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. On a side note, just before we begin, unfortunately, our previous commentary was blocked due to legal reasons. So the Prisoner of Azkaban commentary will have to be redone at some point, but myself and Jack discussed, and we agreed that it was best to just continue and then go back to the Prisoner of Azkaban when we finished, at least for now anyway. So yeah, sorry about that if you're wondering where the third one is. It's been blocked across, worldwide, unfortunately. But anyway, moving on to the Goblet of Fire. Of course, like usual, this is just for, purely entertainment, no financial gain involved.
Yeah, emphasis on the non-profit. Non-profit.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And actually, this is also my personal favorite movie of the Harry Potter saga, as a lot of you probably know. And Jack's, I believe, was the Chamber of Secrets. So yeah, at least we get to do our favorite ones, which is great. So if you want to join us, then put your Blu-rays and DVDs into 0 and follow along with us. It's going to be a long one. It's 2 hours, 35 minutes.
Fuck me!
It's long, yeah. Not as long as the Chamber of Secrets, but it is long. I mean, all the Potter movies are long. But anyway, so with that being said, Jack, is there anything you want to say before we begin?
Just mute your audio, put your timestamp to 0, and also the audio won't be as loud as it was last time. I think that's the reason why we got copyright struck, was because the audio on both our ends was quite loud. So the audio won't be as loud for this one. And yeah, again, emphasis on the non-profit fan commentary.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the audio was booming, but it was loud enough for it to be picked up. So
yeah, and we're definitely not doing this for profit. I think maybe that's why they dinged it as well. Fucking check the Hangout next time, you wankers, before you copyright strike it. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
Language, Timothy.
Oh, fuck you, lass.
Anyway, so Jack, do you want to do the countdown, or shall I?
I'll do if that's all right.
Ladies first.
Oh, no, actually, it's women and children first, so maybe you should go next, Ollie.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, you ready, Jack?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, play.
Warner Brothers logo.
I love the music for this film, and this opening music has always been great to me.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I had a surprise seeing this film. The first time I saw it, I didn't know I was going to see it at the time. My parents surprised me and my sister with it. We were told we were going to the shops, and then they drove us to the cinema to watch Harry Potter. And my God, it was fantastic. We all loved it. And this is actually my parents' favorite as well. It was like the concept of this movie. The Triwizard Tournament and the 3 tasks. It just started to get more epic as well with the story. And also, this is the first time we see Voldemort in its physical form. I mean, I guess one could argue the whole concept of the tournament is kind of silly to put in a school, because if it's so dangerous, why do it in a school? But I'm prepared to put that to one side because I love this movie.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the way it opens is great. But I remember, actually, this is the first Harry Potter film I saw at the cinema. So it was a big deal for me when I saw it at the cinema. I saw it with my brother and my dad. And I think, watching it as a kid, because I haven't seen it since I first saw it in the cinema, I think watching it as a kid, I was sort of put off by the darker tone in this film. I mean, Prisoner of Azkaban was darker, but this really is a lot darker. And
Yeah,
I think, I think as a kid, I enjoyed the first two more because they were more lighthearted. I mean, with Azkaban onwards, and particularly this film onwards, it does get a lot darker. And I think as a kid, it kind of threw me off a bit. And you could tell, with Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire, like it is a lot darker looking. The sort of the colors and the way it's
yeah.
shot, and everything. But
I mean, one thing I'll
yeah,
say to that, Jack,
yeah,
as well. I mean, I know you haven't seen this film for a while, but there is a lot of humor in this film actually, which does balance out the darkness. So at least this film does have a balance in tone. But I think, and you'll notice this when you see the later films. Yeah, they do get a lot darker, particularly towards the end when we get to the Deathly Hallows. But I think that was the plan anyway when J.K. Rowling was writing the books. She wanted them to get darker, and I think the Fantastic Beasts films are going to follow in the same sort of pattern. Although the first one started out pretty dark, to be honest, as well.
yeah. I mean, I remember as a kid, I was kind of a little bit disappointed with this one because, I mean, even though Voldemort is kind of resurrected, like I kind of expected like a battle scene between him and Harry or him to confront Harry, but it's really just sort of building up the reveal of Voldemort's resurrection in this film. And I guess you could say that this film is it is a lot of build up. But I mean that's not a bad. I mean look, it's David Tennant, 10th Doctor.
Yeah. He plays a small but pivotal role in this film.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember as a kid, like all the stuff with Voldemort, I just found really, like, kind of a bit weird because you never really see him in the film, and the whole film is him sort of being resurrected. And I think as a kid, that kind of disappointed me a bit because you don't see him fight Harry at the end, or like I kind of wanted like a big confrontation, but this is kind of building it up for Order of the Phoenix, and of course the final. Harry Potter films, Deathly Hallows, and all that when Voldemort returns. So,
I mean, that being said, the fight they do have in this film is cool. I mean, the whole scene is excellent. The confrontation. I mean, maybe you'll like it more when we get to it. But I think it's a very, very chilling scene.
yeah, it's interesting because
this is quite cool. I mean, this.
Sorry, what were you going to say? No, what were you going to say?
No, I was just saying it's interesting. This book, or this film, doesn't start out with Harry at the Dursleys. They go straight to him going to the Burrow. In the book, we get this long, drawn-out opening where Harry is at the Dursleys, and then the Weasleys come and then take him away. And it's like the film just trims out all the baggage and just gets on with it. One of my only other minor flaws with this film is that they don't show the Quidditch match. I know they didn't really need to, but they go to the Quidditch World Cup for God's sake. Why don't they show the match? It just like they cut.
It's Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, and he went to go on to do Twilight.
Oh God,
but I love the scope of this movie. This movie to me is when Harry Potter got epic. I mean, not that it. I mean, well, more epic, I'll say. I mean, because it was pretty epic before, but. I think because this is a turning point in the story when Voldemort comes back, and I think Harry starts to see the dangers of the Wizarding World, and also this is the first one where someone dies other than Harry's parents. So it's the lighting; it is already a lot darker.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of threw me off as a kid because this was very much a lot darker than the first two, and even the third one, while it was darker. It wasn't as sort of dark as this because the lighting and the tone and everything. It is a lot more bleak, not in a bad way, but yeah. I mean, it's interesting to note as well because I think Daniel Radcliffe. You can obviously tell they've aged a bit, and like I mean, his hair is probably the longest here as Harry. His hair's grown out quite a bit.
He's got a bit of a mop head, doesn't
he? Yeah, actually, funnily enough, he looks like one of my old friends at primary school with like the long hair and the glasses and all that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. This was the film where they all had long hair. Ron has long hair as well in this one. But I still love this magical world. I mean, they're still showing you so much. In every new film, there's something new. Like here, the Quidditch World Cup. This is amazing. But that's the disappointment that we don't see the match. Why not? even if it's only a montage of it, that would be cool. You know, it's in a huge fucking stadium. You know, it would have been better than the Quidditch match we got in the third movie, which was just them in the thundering rain. But I mean, nonetheless, it doesn't take away from this film for me. I mean, I think Mike Newell does a great job directing it. This is the guy that made Four Weddings and a Funeral. He takes on a Harry Potter film.
Yeah, I was saying that I'm not really a huge fan of Four Weddings and a Funeral. It's okay, but
I haven't seen it, so I can't compare Mike Newell's direction from that to this. But I've watched this film, so
I have to say this. Like, I agree with Alan. This has to be a reference to Doctor Who, the tent that's bigger on the inside than the outside. Yeah, come on. Come on, JK. We know that you took that from Doctor Who. You know.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's a nice homage. I mean, you're kind of expecting, because David Tennant's in this film, to go like Allons-y or something like that. You know.
Oh wow! I mean, look at that shot. That stadium is fucking huge.
Yeah. This is definitely very interesting. That it kind of starts off like, I think this is the first Harry Potter film we don't start off with the Dursleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the book they do, but the film they decided just to get straight to the point, just cut that out. You know, I think people are too harsh when it comes to the bigger books into the films, because look at how fucking big they are. You know, it's so hard to cram everything in. They actually considered splitting this into 2 films, but Mike Newell put his foot down. He said, no, there is nowhere in the middle of the story to break off. You don't have enough event in the story. Yes, there's a lot of padding in the book, and the book is certainly long enough, but the films, it would be too drawn out for the films. So I think making it 1 film was fine. It just means a very long film, but
yeah,
you know, it was, for me, it was made very well. And, you know, I mean, the book is great, don't get me wrong, but it is longer and it is more drawn out. And that's what happens with the last few books. They do start to get longer. And I think JK got a little bit too wrapped up.
I think especially if Order of the Phoenix, I mean, that's the longest out of all the books. I think it's like 500, 600 pages.
Yeah.
More. Yeah.
And that is probably the one case where I prefer the film, because the film at least told the essential story. Because, that is the hardest book to adapt. And they did a great job. They did a really great job.
Isn't me, but like the Quidditch scenes here look a lot different to the ones in the first 3 as well. Like with the, I mean, look at the stadium, and you got the characters appearing on the stadium wall and stuff. Like the Quidditch scene here seems a lot different. I mean, I remember as a kid this Quidditch scene, I remember like, because this is very early in the movie, but as a kid for me, it felt like the scene came, like from my memory, it felt like the scene came later in the film. But yeah, Minister of Magic.
You have that big build-up. Let the match begin, and then what do? You cut away from it straight away. What a tease, Mike Newell. Why did you do that?
I'll agree with you there. I don't see why you're building it up and then you just cut away from it. It's quite pointless.
I mean, I know they want to get on with the main story, but again, even just a montage would be nice. You know, a short little montage of them playing Quidditch, and just, you know, that would be good at least. But it doesn't matter too much to me. It's not a main part of the story. But I mean, this next scene is quite horrific when the Death Eaters come for the first time. Although weirdly, their look will change in the next film. Like in this film, I think the Death Eaters' outfits are a little bit goofy. So I think it was good they changed it for the Order of the Phoenix.
You know, I mean, it's interesting because all the actors here, hair is longer. Like Fred and George, Ron, Harry. I mean, I think the only one who has her hair shorter actually is Emma Watson, which is interesting.
That's right. That is right. Emma Watson. The Death Eaters, like, they just walk around.
They they kind of look a little bit like the Ku Klux Klan with the torches and the spiked, hoods that they're wearing. They kind of look a little bit like the Ku Klux Klan. Like, I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, they look cool. They look really scary, and this is quite a scary scene. But I think what David Yates did with the Death Eaters will actually benefit them in the later films. In the next film, they start to like move around with the black puffs of smoke and all of that. I think them like apparating around it works a lot better than them just walking around here. We don't get to see them much anyway in this film, but yeah.
Oh shit! No, I mean, look at this. This is very much darker than the first three because, I mean, you have that whole scene where the whole camp gets burned down. I mean, that is a very. I mean, I think a lot of people would kind of be a little bit shocked by that if they're used to the tone of the first two films, you know. And even the third one isn't as dark as this one, but yeah, I mean, it is interesting that Tennant's in this because I was thinking, what did this film come out? Was it 2005, 2006?
Yeah, 2005, and it was released November 2005. So shortly before Tennant would be the Doctor in his first full story, The Christmas Invasion.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, he did briefly make an appearance at the end of Parting of the Ways. That oh, new teeth. That's weird. Oh, so where was I? Barcelona.
Yeah, I remember seeing this film and then recognizing him. I thought, oh, that's the new Doctor Who guy. Oh, that's weird. Because at that time I wasn't as into Doctor Who, but then watching him, grew to love the show.
Yeah, same. I mean, I remember as a kid watching the end of series 1 with Eccleston, and then Tennant came along. I didn't know anything about regeneration, so when Eccleston turned into Tennant, I was quite shocked because I didn't know what regeneration was, and I was kind of pissed off. I'm like, who's this guy? Who the heck is this guy? And then I remember watching this in the cinema and saying, hey, that's the new Doctor Who. And then I remember I missed the first episode, New Earth, but I remember watching Tooth and Claw. And then Series 2 is where I really got into the show, and I started buying the classics, like Genesis of the Daleks was the first one I got on DVD. And yeah. I mean, it is kind of crazy to think that he's nearly left the role 10 years. I mean, 2010 was his last story, so...
Yeah. Well, he sort of left before that, but they just aired it on New Year's Day. But...
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, speaking of other famous actors, Roger Lloyd Pack, who's sadly no longer with us, he's in this film, and he actually plays Barty Crouch, the father of David Tennant's character in this film, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, her hair is a lot shorter compared to the other, especially the first two. Her hair was quite long here. It's quite short. I mean, it's not short, but it is shorter.
I think they changed Hermione's hair in the second film. They made it less bushy and more curly and wavy. And it's a look that suits her.
Yeah.
Ooh, Harry's got a crush on someone.
I remember as a kid, I didn't like all this stuff with the Harry having a crush and stuff because, like, I mean, as a kid, I just, I thought, oh, girls, yucky, as a little kid, Well,
actually, to be fair though, in this film's defense, that is one thing that it does very well. It deals with the awkwardness of of asking people out at that age very well. When we get to the Yule Ball section of the film, that is interesting. I mean, some people find it boring and think the movie drags, but fair enough. But I think it's quite funny and it adds a lot of humor to the film. In a very dark movie, it's that light relief that was needed. Yeah. That's where I think Order of the Phoenix slightly suffers because it is a bit too dark and depressing. I mean, it's still good, but
I mean, not
the balance and tone of this film. That's why it's my favorite.
One thing I will say about 3 onwards, I kind of wish it wasn't as dark in some of the colors and stuff. I kind of agree with Alan's review of Prisoner of Azkaban. I kind of wish it was a little bit more. I don't know. I wish it was a lot more colorful in some ways. Like these scenes of Hogwarts, you could have brightened it up a bit. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I understand they're going for a darker tone, but you don't need every shot or every scene to be really, really dark and sort of grayish looking. You can make it lighter and brighter in some scenes, but I mean, at the same time, I can understand what they were going for. Like they wanted to make the films, visually darker because the series was getting darker. But at the same time, like this scene here, like with Hagrid, you could have brightened it up a bit. But yeah.
But I think this film has more humor than Prisoner of Azkaban, and I think it does that. While it is darker, it has a balance in tone, which I think is admirable, really. And the fact that Mike Newell gets it very right on many occasions, I think, is cool. And I think this mostly stays true to the book. it keeps the important bits anyway. I mean,
I think Columbus was probably the most faithful when it comes to the book, especially Chamber of Secrets. That was a very faithful adaptation. I know Harry said it was too faithful, but I agree with you. I don't think it could be too faithful to the books, you know.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it's not like it was a word-for-word translation. I mean, to be fair, Columbus had it easier because he had the 2 shortest books in the series. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, it is harder to adapt longer books for the screen. This is funny here with Filch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you know, it was really, for me, it took me about 2 films to sort of finally buy Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, because in this film he does have that scene where he does kind of shout, and you're kind of and I remember seeing that as a kid. I was thinking, like, this isn't Dumbledore, you know, like, because
funny book. It's mentioned as he said calmly.
Yeah,
but I think Michael Gambon is better in this film, and he gives a much stronger performance, and you know, I do believe the character a bit more. But you can tell he wanted to do a completely different version than Harris. So it does feel like a different character in a way. But you know,
this seems a bit weird. I love Ron. He's just looking at them like, oh,
bloody hell! I think the effects of this film are great, and they still held up very well since 2005. This is a 14 years old. This film.
I have to say, those women are very attractive. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Fleur Delacour, when she gets out in her swimsuit later, I mean, woo!
You can definitely tell Harry and Ron are getting the boaters at this age.
Oh yeah, Madame Maxime. She's a great character. She's Hagrid's love interest as well, which is funny.
Hagrid's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I haven't seen this film in a long time though, so can't remember all of it, but yeah. Yeah. I kind of agree with you, like, why do they have these tournaments if they're very dangerous and, you know, possibly life-threatening? But at the same time, I suppose, you know, it is Harry Potter, so...
Yeah, it's set in a magical world. I mean, you think they'd have provisions in place to make it safe, but yeah, it is a bit unbelievable how they would set it in a school. But I don't think... I'm prepared to put that to one side, because I think this is a very, very well-made film. And...
Yeah. That looks like I'm not even joking. That really tall guy there, that's hugging Dumbledore. He looks like Al Pacino. I was like, I was like, is that Al Pacino for a minute? I was like,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah, and Brendan Gleeson is in this film as a Mad Eye Moody.
I could imagine him like saying to Dumbledore, like, you know, it's like, it's like, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Yeah.
Professor Dumbledore.
Oh god! And also the guy with the mustache. He's he's Boise from Only Fools and Horses. Lol.
Yeah, and yeah, Roger Lloyd Pack. Yeah, he's the all right, Dave. All right, Dave.
Yeah.
Horse and Horses.
Yeah.
He's a very funny actor, and he was in The Vicar of Dibley. As, Owen the farmer. Yeah. Always late. It's like the Battle of the Somme down there in my toilet.
Oh yeah, sorry, he wasn't Boise. That was John Chalice in Only Fools and Horses, but he was also with John Lumick in Rise of Cybermen Age of Steel.
Yeah, which is weird because him and David Tennant obviously appeared in this as father and son, and then they appear in that story together. Although he doesn't technically have a scene with him. I don't know if because they had a voice for the cyber controller, and I don't think it was his voice. But...
Yeah. I mean, actually, funnily enough, Brendan Gleeson is Mad Eye Moody. That professor guy in Fantastic Four looks like him in the 1994 version.
Yeah. He does a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I still love the look of that food in the Great Hall. Like, I just want to eat that fucking profiterole.
I always remember loving Mad Eye Moody. He was a very funny character. I mean, quite dark, but, you know, quite funny looking as well.
They had a line from the book, which he says, which is constant vigilance. They left that out of the film, which is a shame.
Yeah.
A real shame. I think they have a deleted scene with when he says it though. But it's a shame they didn't make the cut. But he is a very interesting character.
Mm. Yeah. Um, what was I gonna say?
I love the cinematography for this film. It looks very well lit and very well shot.
Looks a little bit goldeny in these scenes.
I guess it does a bit, yeah.
Fred and George. I mean, it's weird that they did grow their hair out. I mean, I'm not sure I'm a fan of them with the longer. Well, he shouts. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas in the first one, it was silence. Everyone, please not panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. The girls have short hair and the guys have longer hair in this film. It's all really weird.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it, but I mean, if that was me, I'd just say, Harry, Fred, George, get a haircut. You look like a girl, and the girls have shorter hair than you,
Actually,
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, because Malfoy's changed his hair as well. In the third film, he changed his hair.
Yeah. The only thing I don't really like about Goblet of Fire is Robert Pattinson. He's just not a very good actor, in my opinion. I mean, he's okay, but he's
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty boy. I mean, let's be honest. He wasn't cast for his acting abilities.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Well, all I'll say is at least they didn't cast Hayden Christensen. Oh God.
I mean, well, he's all right in this film. He doesn't get many scenes, to be fair. And when he is on screen, yeah, he's just kind of there,
Oh God, this guy does look like Al Pacino. He looks a bit like Al Pacino from The Merchant of Venice when he's playing Shylock. Lol.
Yeah.
Moody. Is he Defense Against the Dark Arts or what is he?
Yep, Defense Against the Dark Arts, because every year someone leaves the job.
Yeah, it really is a cursed role, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's weird. But Snape is the one who really wants to do it. He doesn't want to teach potions. But no, Dumbledore won't let him teach Defense Against the Dark Arts.
I don't know why, but... Yeah.
Well, at least not until the Half-Blood Prince.
Huh. God, Hermione, why do you always have to be such a fucking know-it-all?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's her character. I think she mellows out a bit, though, as the years go on.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed in Azkaban in this one, she isn't as, oh, sir, I can tell you everything. She's kind of, I think she's kind of learned that, knowing everything all the time isn't necessarily the best thing,
Mm.
He does have a lot of scars.
Stand. Yes.
Listen, you ginger bastard.
Ooh, yeah, this is really dark stuff. He's teaching them all the curses and I'm surprised that Dumbledore wasn't suspicious of Moody to begin with, because obviously we know he's not the real Moody. We know it's actually David Tennant in disguise. And he's trying to lure Harry into the trap. I mean, it just takes him a whole year to do it.
Yeah.
This is quite funny. I like this bit.
Crab and Goyle. Well, it's interesting to note that I think this is the first film, or maybe it was Prisoner of Azkaban, but Neville Longbottom's definitely lost a lot of weight in this film.
Yeah.
Boy.
I mean, yeah, Neville was a little chubby in the first two, but I think he lost some weight for the third one.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, if you've seen him now, he's completely ripped. Like, he's got a six-pack and all that. Like,
yeah, he's really worked out. He's done a good job.
Yeah. From the fat little kid, Neville.
Yeah.
What were you saying, sorry?
I like the CGI that they had on the spider or scorpion, whatever it is.
One thing I love about the Harry Potter films, and I said it in my review of Chamber of Secrets, which will be up tomorrow, is that one thing I love about the Harry Potter films is that even though they do have CGI, there's still a lot of practical effects. Like, the Chamber of Secrets itself in that film, all the snake heads in the chamber itself, that's all actual, that's actually a real set. And that's one thing I'm glad that they didn't do with these films, is to make them all completely CGI. I mean, they could have had like CGI sets, like George Lucas, CGI classrooms and everything, but they didn't do that, which I'm so glad that they didn't do that, because I think practical effects stand the test of time a lot better than CGI, because CGI becomes dated, and you look at the Star Wars prequels, like like Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, you could tell they're CGI sets, and some of the CGI hasn't dated that well. But with Harry Potter, even though
Yeah,
those CGI effects, most of it's practical, and it ages a lot better, and it still looks great.
I mean, there is CGI in Harry Potter. I mean, CGI is
Yeah,
fine. I mean, it depends.
yeah,
Like some CGI does stand up. As long as you only use CGI when necessary, it's fine. I think CGI
yeah.
has improved over the years, as we've seen. But in Harry Potter, it's always held up. I mean, even though the first movie's effects are maybe slightly dated, but that's not really a bad. It's not too bad. It still works
Can I ask, why is Hermione upset?
because she knows, she knows that the curses are unforgivable. They're called unforgivable curses because they're technically illegal, and he's technically teaching them stuff he's not allowed to, like the torture curse, the Imperious curse, which is a curse used to control people, like hypnotize them, and then there's the killing curse as well.
Hmm.
And he's not really allowed to do that. So
By the way, does Daniel Radcliffe have a blue eye and a green eye?
no, I don't think so. I think he's got blue eyes.
Oh, because in that shot there, it looked like he had a blue eye and a green eye. I was going to say, like, David Bowie had that, where he had a blue eye and a green eye, but yeah. No, I mean, Hogwarts kind of looks different in this one as well. Like,
Yeah, I mean, since the third film, we saw the clock tower and we saw like the bridge that led out to the grounds. We didn't see that in the first two, and I think they did change some of the staircases as well.
is Neville upset?
Yeah, I think he's just a little bit, he was in a slight bit of shock, because his parents were tortured with the curse. You know what? When Moody was doing the curse on the spider,
Yeah.
his parents were tortured by that curse, and they're in the magical hospital, and so he lives with his grandmother, and that was Bellatrix, Helena Bonham Carter's character in the fifth one. She tortured his parents. We find more out about that in the next film, but it's that's why he was so upset.
I have to say the goblet looks cool in this. I love the look of the goblet, and I love the Blu-ray cover, just the goblet with the blue flame coming out on the front. It's pretty cool.
Oh, you've got the special edition.
Yeah, I got the recent Blu-ray set. The one before there was a Blu-ray set where they had all the Harry Potter films, including Crimes of Grindelwald.
Oh, really?
No, sorry, not Grindelwald. All of the Harry Potter films up to and including Fantastic Beasts. So it had the first 8 Harry Potters and Fantastic Beasts all in one Blu-ray set, but then there was just a Harry Potter Blu-ray set separately. And I just thought to myself, fuck it, I'll get the Harry Potter set separately and get the Fantastic Beasts, separately. So I got the Harry Potter box set of all 8 of them, and then the Fantastic Beasts. I mean, the Crimes of Grindelwald's out at the moment. I still have to buy that, but yeah, I'll be reviewing that as well eventually once I review all of them, because there are quite a few Harry Potter films, and yeah.
I mean, also, the Crimes of Grindelwald Blu-ray comes with an extended cut. Don't bother watching it; it's not worth it. It only adds 5 minutes, and the scenes are pointless. I mean,
yeah, I don't know why you do an extended cut if you only add 5 minutes. And it seems quite pointless, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's only short little bits anyway, and I think the film's long enough anyway. I like the scene.
Are they the savages? Well,
Right. But this is what school would be like, and I like that it's depicted at least in a realistic sense.
You can definitely tell that they've grown up a lot in this one. That's why they're having these sort of wizarding trials, I guess, to sort of
teach them about the real world.
Yeah, and also because they've become adolescents, they're becoming young men and young women. So yeah.
Oh, Hermione's got a crush. Oh. They're all starting to fancy each other in this one. Like Ron's like fancying Hermione, Harry fancies Cho, and Hermione fancies Crumb. It's all like raging hormones in this film.
Yeah.
And Voldemort fancies Harry.
They've all got a bit of hair down there.
Oh yeah, and up on their heads.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Definitely. They're getting boners.
I also think like they give Michael Gambon a bit more to do as Dumbledore. In the Prisoner of Azkaban, I think they were testing the waters.
Yeah, he didn't really do much in Azkaban. He only had like a couple scenes. That was really it.
Yeah, they only gave him what he really needed because he doesn't really feature as much in that book as he does in the others. But no, I mean I'm glad he gets more to do here, and I accept him in this film. Even despite that one scene when he rages, but
yeah,
I'm glad that they kind of cut straight to the point with this story. Like in the book, it takes so much longer to get to these moments. Like she really likes to window dress.
Yeah, I agree that Order of the Phoenix was padding. I mean, it's a good book, but it just didn't need to be that long.
Oh yeah, it's way too long.
Yeah,
way too long.
I mean, Deathly Hallows deserved to be that long because it was the final chapter in the Harry Potter series, or what we thought was going to be the final chapter. I know they did Cursed Child, although apparently they might not bother with Cursed Child because I think Daniel Radcliffe said he just wants to move on. He doesn't want to do any more Harry Potter films, which I can understand. I mean, to me, reading the Deathly Hallows book, because I've read all the books, I think Deathly Hallows, I mean, they already explained at the end what happened to Harry later on anyway, so I don't really see the point in the Cursed Child,
Yeah. I mean, plus we're getting the Fantastic Beasts films anyway, the prequels, so yeah. That should be enough for us.
Yeah. Oh, Snape. Funny, Alan Rickman hasn't really aged in any of the Harry Potter films that much.
No, he hasn't. Ooh.
Still a shame that he's not with us. I mean, it was quite sad when he passed away.
Ooh, I like that shot of the paper.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
That was kind of the mainstay of Gamble. I'm kind of glad that they changed his outfit for his Dumbledore, because I think if he wore Harris's outfit and had the exact same look, it would kind of be a little bit disrespectful. It would just be trying to copy.
I wouldn't go so far as to say disrespectful, but yeah, I think it would be too similar. I agree with you on that front. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be disrespectful, but I think it was better to give him a new costume, give him a new look.
Yeah. I mean, he has a different sort of beard as well. He's got his beard in a knot, and
I mean, it is drastic.
Shorter.
No, I mean, Harris's beard was much longer.
Yeah.
Everyone's costume is much grayer.
Yeah. To be honest, I prefer Harris's look, costume, and I prefer his Dumbledore. But I mean, saying that, Michael Gambon was a good replacement. I mean, he did the job well.
Yeah, I like how this film had like this scene. Just nobody's saying anything. Like they're just all in shock that Harry's name has just appeared out of nowhere. Although that shot with Moody gives it away. It just the camera moves over to him. Like, and he doesn't look surprised, like I think that shot gives it away personally. If you had read the book, or even if you had read the book, you still would have guessed. Oh, Moody did it.
Yeah. As a kid, when I was watching the film, I didn't know it was Moody, but yeah, I suppose it's more obvious now if you've seen the film and read the books again.
Did you put your name into the goblet of fire? Yeah, I think Gambon could have done that a little bit calmer. But I think, to be honest, that was probably the direction from Mike Newell. He probably decided to change it.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is a bit of a shock. I mean, for them, they didn't expect this to happen. And Dumbledore's obviously very concerned for Harry. But there's no choice. Harry has to do the tournament. His name's come out of the Goblet of Fire.
It's interesting that Brendan Gleeson's son, Domhnall Gleeson, is like the main bad guy. Well, one of the main bad guys in the new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, and his son actually is in Harry Potter and plays Bill Weasley in the last two films.
Yeah.
And then funny, he has to deliver a line in the Deathly Hallows, which is "Mad Eye's dead," which is ironic because in real life is his dad.
Yeah, it'd be funny because Brendan Gleeson was in a film with Colin Farrell called In Bruges. It'd be funny if like he just turned around to Harry and he said, "You're a cunt, and you've always been a cunt."
You're a cunt dancing in a hurricane, Mr. Bond.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, still no news on Bond 25. Kind of getting a bit. I mean, all we could do really is wait, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we'll get something soon. It's hard to say when, but hopefully very soon they'll announce something.
Is McGonagall's outfit a bit different in this one?
I don't know. I like Snape's line. I find it difficult to believe this mere coincidence.
Yeah. Snape's always suspicious of everybody.
And then everyone's always suspicious of him.
Yeah. It's not a very cheerful guy. He wouldn't be a guy that you would want to meet up with, after school to go to the pub with,
Yeah. I don't think he likes. I think he's quite a private person. He doesn't like to show his emotions too much. But deep down, we know the story of Snape, and that will all come out in the last one. Definitely.
Yeah, I know he fancied. Well, he's sort of in love with Harry's
mum.
But I mean, has he ever married since then, or is he like single?
No, he still loves Harry's mum to the very end.
That's interesting, lol.
But he hates Harry's dad because Harry's dad bullied him. So that's why he looks at Harry and he's like, he has such a love-hate relationship with Harry. Like, he wants to protect the boy, but he at the same time he can't stand him.
Yeah, because he's the son of James Potter. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel bad for Harry because it's not really his fault. I mean, I think he kind of feels that he should be Harry's real dad. Like, I think he kind of feels that he should have been the father of Harry. He should have had a son with,
Well, I think he just he owes it to Lily just to watch over Harry, even though he can't stand because Harry looks like his dad. So
yeah. But I also think that he thinks that he should have had a son with Lily, and I think he kind of
it's off.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know if Snape would have ever wanted kids. That's never really explained. But
I remember as a kid,
he definitely wanted to be with Harry's mum, no question.
No, it was quite funny. It's Miranda Richardson, but yeah, no, it was quite funny because I remember as a kid when when Ron said piss off to Harry, kind of annoyed me as a kid because I'm like, oh, but you guys are supposed to be friends. Why are you fighting with each other? Why are you telling Harry to piss off? I think it's a kid that kind of annoyed me because there's a little bit of they kind of have a little bit of a falling out in this film, Ron and Harry.
Because Ron thinks Harry's like a glory hunter, but of course it's not true and they make up, thank God. But yeah.
I mean, he should know that Harry's in a glory hunter. I mean, he's helped Harry all those times, and if anything, they're both glory hunters. Not just Harry. If you're going to claim that, but yeah.
Yeah. Miranda Richardson's good in this film. Rita Skeeter. She totally encapsulates the press. They always they never tell the true story.
Yeah, like the paparazzi and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee tried to call us at 9. I don't know why, but yeah.
I did tell him I was doing a commentary with you.
Yeah, no, I just checked and I just saw that now. I didn't see it before. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Ooh. And the Goblet of Fire and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Harry has to go through quite a bit in this year. He never has a quiet year at Hogwarts.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say about J.K. Rowling. I mean, it's not really a criticism because I suppose you couldn't really write a Harry Potter book where nothing happened that year. But you're right. I mean, every year he seems to be in some sort of danger when it comes to his life.
Yeah, but yet at the same time, you know, it's better than living in the Dursleys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you rather have the fear of dying than living with the Dursleys. Yeah.
My eyes aren't glistening with the ghosts of my past. I still love that model shot of Hogwarts. It's so good.
Oh, was that a model?
Yeah, well, obviously they shoot the model and then the background is CGI. It's clever the way they do it.
Oh, I thought the whole Hogwarts there was CGI, but yeah.
Well, no, because I went to the studio tour and I saw the model. It's really impressive. They zoom in like close on it.
Yeah. No, I remember watching this as a kid. It was the first Harry Potter film I saw in the cinema, and kind of to my regret, I didn't see any other of the Harry Potter films in the cinema because my dad just didn't bother taking me. But I was kind of regret not seeing the others in the cinema because I would have loved to seen Order of the Phoenix and definitely Hallows and Half-Blood Prince. Lol.
Yeah.
I would get that checked out if I was him. You know, if you're getting flipping bitten by a bird, I mean, you want to make sure you don't have any diseases or infections with that. But yeah.
And one other person in this film is Gary Oldman. He makes a cameo as Sirius Black, and he appears in the fire, which I think actually is a great visual effect and really. I mean, it doesn't look like him, like his face, but it's really clever the way they at least do the CGI.
Yeah. Why so serious? Well,
I mean, 3 minutes. It has gone by pretty quickly.
Yeah. It is quite interesting. She has a newspaper column called Me, Myself, and I. It just shows her ego.
Yeah.
Those are some great special effects.
Yeah.
A little bit creepy as well. That's some great CGI, how they managed to do that.
For 2005 as well, that's pretty damn impressive.
Still holds up today really well. Can you imagine someone just threw some water on the fire?
Yeah, oh god, that would be annoying.
Kind of a shame that John Williams didn't come back after Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, well, I guess there was only so much he could do, but you know, I'm kind of glad they changed composers. You know, It's nice to have a fresh, sound. I think Patrick Doyle's score for this film is beautiful. I think it's really, really good. It's not the best score in the series. I mean, I think the first two rival as the best, but this score is really great.
You know, I might have to say that even though I love Star Wars and Indiana Jones and stuff, I might have to say that the Harry Potter theme and the soundtrack that John Williams did is probably my favorite soundtrack he's done for films. I mean, there's so many. I mean, it's either the Harry Potter soundtrack and theme that he did or the Jaws theme, the soundtrack he did for that. But
dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they fall out in this film. Like,
they fall out because Ron thinks Harry has put his name in for the attention. He thinks Harry's an attention seeker, but of course, this whole thing happened to Harry. He didn't know that this was going to happen. But
I mean, why would he want to risk his own life for God's sake? You know,
I think because he's the boy who lived and he survived against Voldemort, they think, oh, he's just he's arrogant and he's trying to, show off by proving he can do this tournament. And I think that's what causes tensions between Harry and Ron and Hermione. But I mean, they patch it up, which is good,
Well, I mean, less Hermione. I mean, she doesn't really. I think she realizes that Harry wouldn't do that, but it's more Ron.
Yeah, I mean, she's caught in the middle of the arguments.
Imagine they were just never friends again. That would be interesting.
Well, actually, funny you say that, because J.K. Rowling was thinking of killing off Ron halfway through the series, but then changed her mind. That would have been... dramatic.
Thank God for that. And also, I don't think it would have worked since Ron and Harry would have fallen out, and it would have been a bit of a sour note to end on if this was the last film that he was in, Ron. But
yeah, I think it was right that he stayed to the very end.
Yeah.
Hagrid's looking for you.
Why is she pissed off of Harry? What did he do?
Because, as I just mentioned, she's in the middle of all the arguments between Harry and Ron, so she doesn't like being an owl, so to speak, delivering messages.
Oh, well, Ron's basically saying, "Oh yeah, say this to Harry."
Yeah, then Harry's like saying this back to Ron. She's like, no, I'm not an owl. Stop doing this to me.
I tell both of them to fuck off. Well, yeah. I like Hagrid's floor or whatever it is. Quite nice.
Yeah, Hagrid's quite funny in this film.
Yeah.
His relationship with Madame Maxine.
It's nice that he gets more to do here than he did in Prisoner of Azkaban. He didn't really do much in that film. Like,
I mean, he had an important plot line, like with the Buckbeak.
Yeah.
That was cool. I think Hagrid actually gets less to do as towards the end.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the film Hagrid is the biggest part is probably Chamber of Secrets because he gets accused and, because he opened the Chamber of Secrets supposedly, but Tom Riddle lied about that. That's probably the most.
I think the first one, well, because he introduces Harry to the world.
Yeah, Diagon Alley and all that. Yeah,
he's featured a lot in the first one.
Mm.
Closer.
Ooh. Fire. Do 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 do.
Dragons. I think the ideas of the tasks are pretty epic. I mean, the confrontation with the dragon, the underwater lake one, and then the maze, which is great. I think they're all very clever and very visually inventive, especially the lake one.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
48 minutes, not bad. I know we're coming up to the first task soon, so it's gonna.
Yeah.
This film is definitely more action-packed than.
Yeah, this is a little bit ridiculous, like bringing dragons in. It's like, I mean, for God's sake, he's a pupil. It's like once if he dies, what are you going to say to the parents? What are you going to say to well, not to the parents, but what are you going to say to Dursleys? Oh yeah, by the way, Harry got killed by a dragon, just so you know.
You'd have to be pretty fucking brave to go through all the three tasks. I mean, Harry's very brave.
Yeah, I mean, what the fucking dick? I mean, no offense, sorry for my language, but I mean, these people are absolute dickheads. I mean, why would you have a badge saying Harry Potter stinks? He could die for God's sake. Arseholes. I mean, I bet it's Malfoy's behind it all.
To be honest, I thought what would have worked better for the whole Tribe as a Tournament thing is that if they tried to introduce it as a new thing and that it hadn't been done before, so then they didn't know if people would die from it. They were just testing it. And then this would have been like a sign to say, oh no, it doesn't work because someone died. The fact that people have died from it and that they choose, okay, let's have it in a school. Maybe that's a bit unbelievable.
Yeah. Ron is being a bit of a dickhead. Like, seriously, wise up, Ron,
Yeah. To be fair, they're all adolescent as well, so there's also like a bit of a testosterone flying around.
Malfoy, I mean, he's always just been a pretentious prat. If I was Harry, I'd just fucking punch Malfoy in the face.
He was... Moody. Teaching. down his trousers.
I'm glad that actually happened to to Malfoy.
Yeah. Can't believe Goyle had to like put his hands down his trousers. My father will hear about it.
We never use transfiguration as a punishment. Surely Dumbledore told you that. Well, to remember.
Somebody just turned her into a ferret. Lol.
Love that. Well, she tells him off, and then he just sticks his tongue out.
Yeah, Brendan Gleeson's a great actor.
I think you're right. She is wearing a different costume, McGonagall. I think she's wearing all black, and she's lost the hat that she used to wear.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the first two, or especially I think maybe in the second one, she sort of wore like a dark green sort of outfit. I could be wrong there, but I think she wore like a dark. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's that scene where she's talking about the Chamber of Secrets, and she is wearing all green, like all green and black. Sorry.
Yeah, dark green sort of outfit with bits of black in it. Yeah. I like his robotic leg. It's interesting. How did he lose all his limbs and stuff?
I don't know. I guess probably in a fight or something, maybe.
Maybe he slipped on a banana peel.
God. Yeah. Obviously, we think that Moody is trying to like help him out to win the tournament, but for his own reasons. But obviously, turns out that he's really trying to just help him win so he can get to Voldemort.
Moldy warts. Well,
yeah. I think Radcliffe has really come a long way in the 4 movies. The first 4 films, he's really improved.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in the first one, but Chamber of Secrets, he was even better. And I think maybe as each film gets along, he gives a better performance.
Yeah, because he's very mature, and that comes across very well in his acting as Harry.
Yeah. It is interesting to see these characters sort of grow up on screen. Like we watch them grow up on screen, from sort of young kids to, young adults.
Yeah. Right. First task. Woo!
Oh.
54 minutes, actually.
You imagine the first task is to do the laundry. 50 points to Gryffindor.
Yeah. I mean, how have you found it so far? I mean, because we've watched it for nearly an hour, so...
How am I finding it so far? Yeah, it's not bad.
Is that it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's only going to get better. Trust me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's better than I remembered, to be honest.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Even if I know it's probably not going to beat the first 2 for you, but hopefully at least you enjoy it a bit more.
I think it will go up in my ranking. I just have to rewatch all the Harry Potter films. Like we still got 4 films left.
Yeah, we're halfway there.
Oh, she's getting very comfy with Harry.
No.
Joking.
They just see each other as brother and sister. They're not romantically involved.
Yeah. He doesn't want to stick her wizard. He doesn't want to stick his wand inside her cauldron.
I'm just going to pretend you didn't say that. Let's just move on. No, I know what you mean though, because everybody assumed that Harry and Hermione would get together, but it turns out it was actually Harry and Ginny, and then Ron and Hermione. So it was kind of unexpected in that regard.
Oh my god! I mean, I think they must have done something like Hobbit to make her look a lot taller. But wow, she is fucking tall.
Mm. Yeah, they do sizing very well. I mean, also Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. He's a half giant, so
yeah,
he's sort of a little bit taller than them as well.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
Mr. Lacour.
Oh, it's a little dragon.
Welsh green.
Unlike My Little Pony, My Little Dragon.
The Chinese firebolt. It's weird though because Hogwarts have the advantage because they've got 2 people in the tournament.
Yeah, it is weird, and it is weird that Harry kind of gets chosen. Well, yeah. You might have just said, "Let the challenge begin."
Oh yeah, Raven. I like that show. That was a good show.
When I was younger, I always wanted to enter it. Like I always wanted to actually, because I mean the challenges, I mean when you looked at them on TV, they looked easy, but I suppose they were actually quite hard in real life to do them. But I always wanted to enter that show as a kid.
Yeah, I love the concept of that show and the challenges that you did. They just look like such fun.
Yeah, I love the wood setting, and you had to fight the bad guy, and you had to get the rings, and you had to do these difficult challenges like monkey bar and get over obstacles and stuff. And yeah, it's a good show. I mean, I don't think it's going on CBBC anymore, but they should bring that back. I mean, I think young kids now would love that. But yeah,
I have to see if we can watch some clips of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Even Ron is clapping and cheering.
Well, I think deep down he's still friends with Harry, and I think he's still. I think he's just going through a little bit of a hissy fit, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, I love the action sequence with the dragon, and I mean the CGI still holds up.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Daniel Radcliffe was certainly busy filming this, making this film, doing a lot of action scenes.
Oh dear. This is kind of a bit crazy that they would allow their students to take on a fucking dragon. I mean, it doesn't ruin the film or anything, but it is kind of like you'd think Hogwarts would have health and safety or something like that. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have to take on a dragon, Harry.
Yeah. Like why haven't they shut the school down? Like they've broken so many health code violations.
Yeah.
This scene is great though. I love it, and
yes, this is a cool scene. Well,
oh,
just singing a song and it'll go away.
Oh, this moment is great. Woo! Yeah!
Yeah, baby!
Malfoy.
Malfoy would just scream like a little girl and get fried by that dragon.
They didn't secure the dragon very well. It just broke through the chains.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, if this was Malfoy facing that dragon, he'd just be screaming like a little girl and he'd get burnt alive.
He's like, "Oh, it's killed me! Oh,
bloody hell!"
I mean, this film is epic, and it raises the stakes in the story, and obviously the tournament is epic. I've always loved this film ever since I've seen it.
Well, this is, watching it now, this is a lot better than I remembered. I just think as a kid, it disappointed me because I was sort of used to the more lighter tone of the first two, and seeing this in the cinema, it was very different with the much darker tone, and I think also because Voldemort wasn't really in the film. I mean, he's in the film, but he doesn't get resurrected until the very end. I think I was kind of annoyed at the lack of a sort of final fight with Voldemort, but looking back at it now, this is much better than I remembered. I mean, I think I still prefer Chamber of Secrets to this one, but this is still a very good Harry Potter film. I think if I did the ranking, because I have to watch the other films, but I think I'd probably put this a lot higher in my
your list.
Yeah.
I mean, the dragon's destroying the school.
I might actually prefer this to Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, I prefer it to Prisoner of Azkaban. Well, I prefer it to all of them, but
Yeah.
I love all the Potter films.
Yeah. Oh shit! Fuck.
This is definitely a much more action-based film. I think The Prisoner of Azkaban was quite heavy on drama and character. I mean, there was action in it, but it was more about the plot revelations, like with Harry's parents and stuff. This one is much more action-packed, which is also another reason why I love it.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, for God's sake, where the heck is health and safety? You know.
Oh, the bridge is gone.
Imagine that was just the end of the film. Harry Potter's dead. Oh well.
It continued in part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see the Goblet of Fire working as 2 films. I just can't see it. It wouldn't work.
I don't really think you need. You know, to be honest, I mean, some people could make the argument of Deathly Hallows. I know some people say the Deathly Hallows didn't need to be 2 parts, but I suppose maybe it had to be because it was a quite a long book and there was a lot of story in it.
Yeah,
and I don't think you need. To be honest, I think 2 hours or 2.5 hours is fine for a film. I mean, I'm kind of sick of the trend since, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. I'm kind of sick of the trend of multi-part films. Like, I mean, Infinity War was great. I love that film, but it was quite long, and I do think having another 3-hour film. I mean, I know it's a big story, but I don't think every film needs to have like 3-part films. Like, you could make them 2-hour films or just a 3-hour film for a finale for a series. But yeah.
But to be fair, Deathly Hallows, I think, actually earned the right of 2 films. I think it actually it was better for it because there's so much plot. There is so much that they would have to tell. And even Daniel Radcliffe said if you did it in 1 film, it would be a 3-hour mess. It would just be way too much. Yeah. But I mean, I think they did their best. I mean, when we get to Deathly Hallows, obviously we'll discuss that further. But I mean, so far I'm loving this. It's I mean, it's definitely got a lot of light and it's got a lot of dark, and it's a mix of everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't really think you could have a 3-hour Harry Potter film or longer than that. I just think, I don't think audiences would have the stomach to sit through that. I mean, Chamber of Secrets was 2 hours 40. I think that's long enough. I mean, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours 30 if you cut out the credits, but I think 2.5 hours to 2 hours 40. That's long enough for a Harry Potter film, because I think if you had a 3-hour Harry Potter film or a 3.5-hour Harry Potter film, like a finale, it just wouldn't. It would just be too long, and would just be too drawn out. And you don't need like a 3-hour Harry Potter film, like or 3.5 hour. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think 3 hours is too long because you will have an audience that are younger, and they would struggle to sit through a film that is that long. I mean, so I think, and also they did it. They got more of the book in with Deathly Hallows. They managed to cram in more of the book, more of the important bits, anyway.
Yeah.
But I think now before we get to task 2, we get some light relief.
The Daily Prophet, lol.
Lol, the Daily Pit.
I think it's a reference to the Daily Telegraph or something like that. I don't know. Secret heartache. I can't believe she's so sad about it.
Bulgarian bonbon.
I don't understand why she's so upset about it. I mean, it's not like Daniel Radcliffe's an ugly guy. I mean, he's quite good looking. Yeah.
The fact that she's lying, and she's writing all these false information in the papers and saying about that Hermione's after all these men, which is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't come across to me as the promiscuous type.
Oh no, exactly.
I think she's more into books than she is into men. He looked like John Pertwee with that on.
Bring me my shoes.
A versatility of the wand flow.
Oh God. Ron's outfit for the ball.
The Yule Ball has been a tradition of the.
Wow, that is a fucking huge gramophone.
Yeah, that's an old one as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that is definitely exaggerated. You never have a gramophone that big.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
they're not actually in a big room, so they don't need one that big.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, plus that would like destroy like the windows. It's that huge. You know, I think if sound came out from that, probably destroy their eardrums and the windows.
I mean, yeah. Also, why do they need that? Can't they just use magic? Yeah.
Yeah, or and plus this is like the 21st century or the late 20th century. Like they had CDs back then. They had, you know, stereo and all that. Like, couldn't they just have used like CDs and stuff? You know,
Bambling, bumbling band of baboons.
can you imagine like a disco? Could you imagine like a DJ
Funny you should say that because
Yeah.
later in the film we do see the ball and they do have a like a rock band that come in.
Yeah.
So, but they don't seem to use a lot of technology in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
There's no electricity.
It's kind of interesting though that this film sort of deals with, you know, growing up and sort of becoming a teenager and, you know, getting more interested in girls and you know that sort of thing.
Sex.
Yeah, I mean, well, no, but I mean, I remember sort of going to a thing like this when I was in secondary school. I remember going to like this disco sort of thing. It was like a Strathburn disco, like because like we were an all boys school that I went to, but there's like this old girls school that's very there's this old girls school that was very similar. Well,
The boys that want to dance, but Neville, he's the only one who wants to dance. Bless him.
Yeah.
It's quite funny to see Ron dance with McGonagall as well.
Oh my god. Why do they have to dance to this stupid music? I mean, do they have to go to the ball? You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they do have to go to the ball.
If it was me, I'd be like, put on some fucking punk rock or something. You know, put on some AC/DC or something like that. You know.
Yeah. It's funny that Harry, he can slay a dragon, but he can't ask a girl out for a date. Yeah. So it makes him an interesting character.
I mean, I think you could tell all the girls in his year sort of fancy him because I mean he is a good looking guy. I mean Daniel Radcliffe he's not an ugly fucker, you know.
Well, I don't know if all of them would fancy him. I think, well, definitely Ron's sister fancies him. There's no.
Well, not all of them, but I mean you can definitely tell the way the girls are looking at them that looking at him they kind of fancy him. But yeah,
I think they more admire what he did as well, like the dragon. You know, they kind of like that.
I bet he can tame their dragon.
Oh, why does she do that? She just eats a hair. Ugh.
It's a bit fucking weird. She is very tall. I mean, it's weird because Hagrid's quite tall himself. You think he'd say, "You're a bit too tall for me, love. I can't really reach your mouth." You know.
Yeah, all the girls love Crumb.
Crumb. Well, she's got the hots for him. Hermione's definitely got the hots for Crumb. Why are you being a dick, Snape?
Well, I think they're in an exam, so he's sort of invigilating, so to speak.
Yeah. Used to hate fucking exams. That's the one thing I'll say that's good about going to college is that you do coursework instead of exams. I hate in exams the pressure of, you know, you have a time limit and you have to
Remember.
Yeah, you have to remember and there's a time limit and you have to answer all the questions. And I mean, I used to find it like with maths exams and stuff like that, I couldn't answer all the questions in time or I didn't know all the answers and I had to remember everything and you had like hour and a half or an hour time limit. It's like, you know, it just fair coursework a lot better because you just do it, you know, at your own time and over the year. It's just much easier in my opinion. But yeah. What do they have instead of GCSEs? Is it like a S?
Well, funny, in the Order of the Phoenix, they call them owls, OWLs.
Can you imagine if it was like SCSEs, like spell secondary school of education or whatever? I don't know. But yeah, oils. What does that stand for in the film?
What does what stand for?
The oils in.
Oh, ordinary wizarding level.
Quite funny. Oils. Well. Over here, it's grade certificate of secondary education. Well.
Oh, I love the music that plays in this scene.
Yeah. I like the winter setting. Kind of did the same in Azkaban. They had sort of the snowy winter setting at one point.
Yeah. And this
what is he wearing though? I mean, for God's sake, I mean, you're just wearing a hoodie in the snow, you know. Put on a jumper for goodness sake, you know.
Well, he's got a shirt, a hoodie, and a coat on, so
yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I just remember as a kid I didn't like the whole romance thing that he was going through in this film. I just thought, cut this crap out because I was just a kid, you know. But I mean, I understand why they put it in there because Harry's growing up and he's getting more interested in girls and he wants to ask people out on dates and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so funny though because I was watching Chamber of Secrets the other day and and my voice says, "Oh, you got yourself a girlfriend, Potter," and it's like, little did Harry know. Little did he know.
That would be his wife.
Yeah.
Future wife. But I quite like this scene. It's kind of funny and it's awkward. You know, Harry, he's like even Daniel Radcliffe said, Harry's pathetic at getting girls to go out with him, but which is ironic considering how famous he is and how brave he is with like slaying dragons and all that. But
yeah.
And it's funny, like she ends up going with the Robert Pattinson character, Cedric.
She's pretty attractive though, this actress.
Oh yeah, Casey Lung. Yeah, she's a lovely actress. I mean, it's funny in the next film they do get together.
Yeah, although it will not last.
No.
You know, it's funny that egg he has. It looks like an Easter egg.
I do agree with you that they do kind of start to wear their own clothes a bit more after the third film goes on.
Yeah, they wear their civvies a lot more with the third film onwards, and I kind of prefer them more in their school uniform. But I mean, it doesn't ruin it for me. I just prefer seeing Harry in his school uniform outfit to the hoodies and all that stuff. But yeah,
they do go back to uniform a little bit more in Order of the Phoenix, but we'll have to wait and see when we watch that one.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd have to wear their school uniform when they're in Hogwarts. You'd think they'd have to wear that, but
yeah.
Because
if they're on a free period or like after school, after lessons, they're allowed to just kind of wear what they want.
Yeah.
I love the Yule Ball, like the way that the set is dressed, and when we get to the Great Hall, it looks fantastic. I mean, I've seen some of the props and the sets at the studio tour. It's so strikingly good how detailed it is. Again, production designers.
It's John Pertwee.
Production designers deserved an Oscar for these films, but their detail is just incredible.
Yeah. Ron does look a little bit like a ginger John Pertwee. Well, the frilly shirt. I mean, it does kind of look some of the John Pertwee outfit, the frilly shirt and bow tie. Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Lynx, Ron? Yeah.
A lot like great on Tessie.
I mean, I remember this like stuff at the ball when I was a kid. Like really bored me because like I just, you know, as a kid, you know, as a young kid, you know, you're not really into girls. You kind of think girls are kind of a bit yuck. And like I remember watching this, I was just bored. I was like, oh, I don't like all this romance in Harry Potter. You know, just get rid of it. But
now,
no, yeah. No, it looks pretty sexy.
Yeah. I think it works though for this film, and it's only appropriate that it happens, when they're of this age.
No, I think it's good. I mean, as a kid, I didn't care for it, but rewatching it now, I think the scene's very good actually, and I like the fact that they go to the ball. I'm not really a fan of McGonagall's outfit here. It looks a bit weird, but I suppose it's all.
She's not.
Yeah.
She's just gone back to her normal teacher's outfit. Like she just
Yeah.
threw on her old gown, and that was it. No effort.
Yeah. Get out the pot noodle for Harry.
Harry, oh god, Harry, he's got it bad. He really.
Ow! Ow! Emma Watson looks pretty fucking sexy.
Yes. I mean, wow, she looks beautiful, but to be fair, she was already beautiful. So.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, even as a young kid watching this, I was kind of like, "Who the fuck is that sexy babe?"
Well, yeah, I mean that dress, that is a really, it really suits her, and her hair, she does look beautiful.
You can tell she fancies the shit out of Crumb.
Yeah, and Harry fancies the shit out of Cho.
Yeah.
No, do you think this is a film where they start to come a bit more?
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you think this is the film where all the characters start to sort of come of age?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a lot more emphasized than it was in Prisoner of Azkaban. They kind of brushed it over a little bit here. It's a lot more kind of, emphasized.
Yeah. I mean, the Great Hall looks fucking beautiful.
Well, I have to say, even though he fancies Cho, the girl he's got here, she's pretty. I'll say she's pretty fit.
Yeah, take my waist. Poor Daniel Radcliffe. He had to learn this dance in less time than the others because he had to film the other scenes. So, I mean, he tried to play it down. He said because he thought Harry wouldn't be very good, so he just tried to play it like that.
I was gonna say though, I mean, I mean, even though I like this scene and it's a nice scene, I don't know why they're forced to go to a ball. I mean, it's like, why would you force the students to do that? It's like, if they don't want to dance, if they don't want to, go with, dance with girls, it's like, why force them? But I mean, it's a nice scene anyway, but I don't really get it,
Oh, yeah. Mad-Eye Moody. I mean, McGonagall said it was a tradition of the tournament, so
yeah,
it's meant to be sort of the coming together of all the schools because there's like 3 schools.
Yeah,
I think it's just meant to be a celebration.
I love that Hagrid is wearing a tie. That's just so funny.
It turns from a formal dance into a teenage rock and roll gig.
It's fucking weird. That's all I have to say.
It is a bit of a weird cut, but I think it works though.
It is fucking weird that they have a rock and roll thing at Hogwarts. It's.
I mean, it's their Christmas holiday thing, so they're allowed to do that.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I'd rather have like AC/DC or something. That'd be quite good. But yeah.
Well, they're wizards, so they got their own wizard bands.
Yeah, it's interesting. I love that their dates are just kind of not impressed with Harry and the others at all.
Yeah. Oh, the sister, she hasn't had a dance at all with Ron.
I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, they're quite attractive. I don't know why they don't take more interest in them, but I suppose Harry's more romantically, he's more romantically caught up with,
Cho,
and Ron fancies the pants off Hermione now.
Yeah.
I have to say she is quite attractive here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that dress off, love. Maybe Harry could use a spell to undress her.
It's got your wand in a knot.
They're trying to piss off Hermione to not go with Crumb.
Yeah, Ron's just jealous.
Yeah. You know what can you imagine if he said, by the way, Hermione, Crumb's gay.
Oh yeah, that would be the reveal.
No, it's like Ron lied about Crumb being gay. I thought that would be interesting.
I love the falling snow as well from the sky or from the ceiling.
Oh god, Hermione is kind of overreacting a bit.
Well, Ron is he's trying to say that Crumb is no good.
He is a bit of a dick in this film, Ron. He really is a bit of an arsehole.
There's more tensions between the three of them in this film. Like Harry and Ron fell out. Ron and Hermione have fallen out. And
why is she snapping at Harry?
She's just upset. I mean, the fact is, they're all teenagers. They're all adolescent. They're all going through shit like raging hormones and all of that.
What did Ron say to Hermione?
He said, "Oh, Crumb is using you. You know, he's way too old. You know, he's no good for you, basically."
He is a bit of a fucking arsehole, Ron.
Hagrid trying to be all smooth.
I think I kind of feel bad for Hermione and Harry in this one because he is a bit of a dick to both of them. You know, I mean, he's jealous. He's jealous that Hermione's with Crumb, and then he's kind of pissed off with Harry because he thinks Harry's like, you know, basically a bit of a try-hard, but yeah.
I like that part when Hagrid was trying to touch Madame Maxine's heart.
Yeah, it was funny. And it was funny seeing him wearing a tie, and he's like, oh, come on, you want to dance? You know, it was quite funny.
This is interesting. Harry's still having his dreams. His dreams of conquest.
Oh god, I can't wait until you get to that story. Lol. Oh, praise the Nymon! Hail the Nymon! Yeah.
I mean, we do see a bit of Voldemort in the early parts of this film, and in this part, we hear his voice, and I think Ray Fiennes here is doing an impersonation of Ian Hart, who voiced Voldemort in the first film.
Yeah, apparently I heard that he watched the first film, Philosopher's Stone, and sort of get an impression of what Voldemort was like.
Yeah, and I'm sure he had conversations with J.K. Rowling as well.
Yeah, I think he was trying to sort of, you know, I think he was, you know, yeah, he was reading the books and he was, you know, trying to get a sense of what Voldemort was like before him. So, yeah, interesting. I think Voldemort's probably Ray Fiennes' most iconic performance.
Yeah, I think like M and James Bond could become his most iconic. Should he? I mean, however long he chooses to stay. By the sounds of it, he'll be around for a long time, which is good.
I mean, was he ever pissed off by the fact that he had to have that makeup, like the flat nose and everything, or was he like fine?
I mean, it obviously took a long time, and it was annoying to get he had like orange dots on his face the whole time, so they CGI'd his nose out.
Yeah. It's interesting how the Gryffindor scarves have changed as well. Do you notice that?
Yeah, slightly. I mean, they've sort of the colors are darkened a little bit, and they changed the pattern slightly.
Yeah,
because it used to be much more like basic.
Yeah, it was just red and yellow, like bright red and bright yellow. Actually, funnily enough, I was in Dublin on a Saturday, and we went into the market, and they were actually selling like a Gryffindor robe and scarf there, which is pretty cool.
Oh, Robert Pattinson, he finally gets something to do.
Yeah. God, I mean, that's one thing I'm never going to review. If anyone requests me to review that, I'm just going to have to turn them down. I don't want to review the Twilight films. I just fuck that shit.
I've seen the first 4 of them, and I know that you're definitely not going to like them because I didn't like them.
I like vampires, but I don't like teenage, romance vampire stuff like True Blood.
Vampires, they glitter and sparkle in the sun.
Oh, God. No, I mean, I do like vampires like Bram Stoker's Dracula and stuff like that. But I just don't like vampires like teenage romance vampires like Twilight or True Blood. I just don't like the teeny romance vampires. I mean, they're not real vampires.
Speaking of teen indulgences, oh, here we go. Harry's got his shirt off.
Oh, I'm gonna have a wank in the bath. Oh.
Well, no, I mean for all the fangirls.
Yeah. I
But,
bet a lot of fangirls fainted.
coming of age.
Yeah, the fangirls of age probably fainted at the scene where he was naked in the bath. Well, I mean, I'd rather would be Emma Watson. We could see her tits, but yeah.
Oh, Moaning Myrtle. I totally forgot she was in this film.
Ugh. She's basically perving on Harry.
Yeah. This film is definitely more mature than the first three.
What I want to know is, why is he taking a bath in the girls' bathroom? Is it because no one comes in there?
Oh, it's not the girls' bathroom, it's the prefect's bathroom.
So how did she get in there?
Well, she's a ghost. I guess that kind of answers the question.
It is a bit. She is. I mean, you could. I mean, even though Moaning Myrtle's dead, she is. You can tell she fancies Harry. Like that scene in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, where she's like, "Harry, if you die down there, you're welcome to share my toilet." I mean, the actress I think the actress was a lot older at the time. I think she was in her 30s or something. Because I mean, I remember her in School Reunion the year after this, and she was definitely a lot older than Daniel Radcliffe when she did School Reunion. You know, she must have been in her 30s or.
I don't think it was School Reunion. I think you were thinking.
Sorry. Love and Monsters. That's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think the reason I said School Reunion is because the Hogwarts were in a school, but yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, she does look a lot younger than she is. And I think the ghost effects look really good.
Ugh. Is she looking at Harry's dick?
Maybe.
Well.
Underwater.
She's looking at his dick. Well.
I like her character though, Moaning Myrtle. I think she's funny. She's really good.
If I was Harry, I'd be putting something over my crotch. Definitely. Ew. It's kind of disgusting. I mean, the fact that the ghost is turned on by you. I mean, if that was me, I'd be fucking creeped out. You definitely tell she wants Harry's boner, but she can't touch it. Well, her hands would just go right through it. Oh dear.
Hour and a half. I mean, for me, this film has gone really quickly.
How old were they in this film? Would they been about 15, 16?
Yeah. I mean, Rupert Grint is slightly older because I think he was born in 87, I think. So he was about 17.
Yeah. Well, when was Radcliffe born? 89, 90?
I think he's born 1990.
Yeah.
So he's 29 this year.
Same age as my cousin. You know, I don't know why John Williams didn't come back. I mean, I know why he didn't do this film, because he was doing the soundtrack for Revenge of the Sith at the same time, because this came out 2005. But I don't know why he didn't come back for the fifth one or the sixth one, you know.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? I never actually looked up the reason, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Neville. I mean, he kind of starts off as a prat in the first couple of films. I mean, he's kind of a prat in the first couple of films, Neville. But as the series goes on, you know, I mean, you could tell he's not that dumb. I mean, he is quite intelligent in some ways. I mean, you know, in the first two, he's kind of the comic relief, but as the films go on, you can tell that he's, you know.
Yeah, he was kind of. Everybody looked down at him and thought he was an idiot, but he turned out to be a hero.
Yeah. Ginny.
Yeah, task 2, the lake.
You know, Ginny hasn't aged that much in the Harry Potter films so far.
Yeah, they don't use her that much until towards the end. Like Half-Blood Prince is like they give her a bit more to do.
It is interesting that he married Ron's sister. Could you imagine like Ron saying, "So Harry, you fucking my sister?" Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Funny, there's a meme online which is which has Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ginny. Like Harry says, you know, Ron got the girl, so I nailed his sister.
Oh god. Oh, this is the second trial, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is my personal favorite of the three tasks, just because the visuals. It's visually.
Ooh.
I mean, you'll see. You'll probably be reminded of the visuals shortly.
I know. I remember watching this task when I was. Oh, she looks quite good in that suit. But yeah, I was gonna say. I remember this scene. In the like I remember watching the scene in the cinema. The task, because Harry becomes like a aquatic creature underwater, which is interesting. You know.
Yeah, as we'll probably see now. But yeah,
Ugh,
sexy Fleur in her swimsuit.
It's weird that he gets gills. Yeah, I remember the scene in the cinema. Yeah, I remember the scene in the cinema. It just kind of freaked me out a bit. I mean, it was a good scene, but I remember in the cinema thinking it was a bit weird. Killed Harry Potter. Oh,
Oh, that's great.
under the sea.
Also, love the music for this scene. Like the atmosphere of it is really good.
Yeah. Who did the soundtrack for this one? If it's not John Williams.
Patrick Doyle.
All right. Yeah, well, the soundtrack's good. I mean, obviously not as good as John Williams, but still pretty good.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, I still think the CGI for this scene is incredible.
Yeah, that's one thing. Apart from the first film, I think the CGI for all the other films has aged really well.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the first film still has good CGI. It's just a bit more dated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first film nearly came out 20 years ago, which is amazing.
Yeah. It is amazing, actually.
Yeah. A couple of years, it'll be 20 years since that film came out.
Yeah.
Getting old. I remember this was like, I remember as a kid, this is like my favorite scene in the film.
Yeah. I think it might be my favorite scene as well, actually. It's just so creepy and eerie.
Yeah.
I mean, it all looks kind of green and foggy under the water. Like there's no, like you can't really see much of what is there. And this part, when Harry comes to the mermaid kingdom, I guess you could call it, is really, really visually stunning.
He's a merman. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit, is that Hermione?
Ron and Hermione, yeah.
Is that actually them?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, they were chosen as part of the task. Like,
it is quite sinister, actually. It's like, who the fuck did this? That is really, because they could die. I mean, my God, that is fucked up.
Yeah, well, Moody did it, or McGonagall did it. Like, part of the task, you've got to save the people.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, it's like, I don't understand why would they put these, you know, students' life in jeopardy. You know, it's like, it's fucked up. Really is fucked up. Yeah, like you said, I'm surprised they haven't closed the school by now. Yeah, the CGI of these creatures has dated a bit. They don't look particularly great, but not awful, you know.
I disagree, actually. I think they still look great, but fair enough. I guess you haven't seen this film for a while, and maybe the Blu-ray quality does indicate the CGI a bit more.
No, I don't think they look shit. Don't get me wrong, but they just don't look amazing to me. Those creatures, but yeah.
The music is good in this scene.
Harry, get the fuck out of there!
Decides to save both of them.
It'd be funny if they did play the Jaws theme here, since John Williams did the soundtrack for Harry Potter, and because you got that shark guy there, that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, Crumb, yeah, turns himself into a shark. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not in any other films, is he, Robert Pattinson?
Apart from this and Twilight, I don't really know.
No, he's not in any other Harry Potter films, is he?
Oh no, because his character dies at the end.
Oh right, yeah. Crumb, he's a fucking shark.
Ugh, that guy needs to brush his teeth.
I know, like I was gonna say earlier, he has fucking disgusting teeth. I think it's makeup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it is.
Yeah. I mean, has he ever heard of fucking
Aquafresh.
Yeah, Aquafresh. That's it. Yeah. You
Da-da-da-da.
could do an advert for the scene. Aquafresh. If you don't want your teeth to turn out like shit. No, some of the CGI here is pretty good, actually.
I like this scene. It's pretty damn intense.
Get off of me! Oh. Can you imagine Harry just ate them? Has a bit of fried calamari. This is a cool scene. I remember at the cinema, I did really enjoy this scene when I watched it as a kid.
It's amazing, actually, how Harry managed to save both of them.
Woo! He's flying!
I'm flying, Jack! I'm flying!
Oh, God.
We'll have to do a commentary on Titanic one day.
Oh, dear.
3 hours of our life.
Yeah. That's definitely a film that didn't need to be 3 hours long.
I do agree with that. It is way too long. But when we get to the second half, though, it is really good.
Yeah. Jack Dawson. Can you imagine if Harry, like, underwater, he just saw the body of Jack Dawson or whatever?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Or Harry, when Harry casts Ascendio, he comes up through the raft and then knocks both of them off.
Yeah.
I'll never let
go. I'll never let go, and then she lets go of the raft. Ah! My brother actually has that one that Dumbledore has.
I've got that one. I picked up a few of them at the studio tour.
Yeah, and my brother got a few wands recently. He got the Death Eater wand. He got that wand that Dumbledore has, and he also got a wooden wand as well, which is pretty cool. That's probably my favorite one that he has because it's actual wood, like the ones in the series. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh. Well, Malfoy, he's just a little prick.
Yeah, he's a brat. Wait till my father hears about this.
Just hides behind his dad. It's probably one of the only reasons he got into that school was because of his dad, and
Yeah,
also like that's.
He's a governor for the school.
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason he got into the Quidditch team as well, because his dad was there. Like Hermione says, well, at least Harry didn't have to buy his way in, you know.
Yeah.
All right, Del boy.
All right, Dave.
I just think the only Fools and Horses theme: no income tax, no VAT, no money back, no guarantee. Well.
Oh.
He's got a mad eye, all right.
Kind of that tongue thing that he does.
Yeah, just go to the toilet. I'll be back in a sec.
No worries. Yeah, I like that tongue thing that happens there. Obviously, that indicates immediately to Barty that that's his son. He knows that Mad Eye is now disguised as his son, but obviously, this scene proves that it is just too late. funny. This scene is interesting because there was originally a scene filmed for this film where they stood up and greeted the other two schools by singing the school hymn or school song, and they decided to cut it out. And I think that was probably right because I don't think it fit. It's quite chilling just to see chilling. Sorry, to see Barty Crouch Jr. Dead like that on the floor. It is obviously we know who did it. The book definitely draws it out longer, and they sort of go into his death a bit more. But I think by this point, you know, film is a different medium to book, so you need to keep the pace moving. I mean, this film is quite long. It's we've still got you know, another hour or just under an hour to go, and there's still quite a bit left to go. But I think now they're concentrating on keeping the pace moving and getting the film to its climax. I know some people do criticize this film for being a little slow in places. I could see that. I think it moves along fine personally, but I could understand if people did find it slow. It is one of the longest films of the series. It's the second longest. It's behind Chamber of Secrets. This one is 157 minutes, so that's 2 hours 37 minutes, whereas Chamber of Secrets is 2 hours 40. It's 160 minutes. So there's only a 3-minute difference, but yeah, they're both sort of around the same length anyway. Those little things are quite funny. But this scene is interesting. How this is the first time we see Dumbledore's pensieve. Oh, welcome back, Jack.
Oh, what were you going to say? Sorry.
I'm saying, this is the first time we've seen the pensieve in this film series. We see it again in the Half-Blood Prince, where it features a lot more. But, this allows sort of Dumbledore to see memories that he's already seen. And obviously, Harry manages to find out some information from this.
Yeah. It's interesting that after this film, this is a good scene. You know, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the scene from Chamber of Secrets where Harry gets sucked inside the book. Because this is a memory as well. You know, he can't interact with anybody.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. But yeah, you're right. It is kind of similar to that. Nobody can see or hear him. He's just a figment there.
Yeah. This is where we see David Tennant.
Yeah. Al Pacino, you've been brought from Azkaban at your request because you made an offer that they couldn't refuse.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend. I love that scene in the film Boogie Nights where Alfred Molina gets out the gun and he does it. Say hello to my little friend.
I love in Little Fockers when the kids... Meet the Fockers when the kids watching Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. Actually, that might be one film I request you review, Scarface. I think you enjoy that film. It's a great film.
Yeah, I'll have to dig it out. I'm sure my dad's got it somewhere. But
yeah.
And it's interesting to see how the Ministry of Magic deal with criminals. Like, this is the first time we've seen like a court scene, when someone gets sentenced.
The sentence is death. How long were you now?
1 hour 45 minutes.
Sorry?
1 hour 45 minutes. What, you getting bored?
No.
No,
the pacing's actually quite good.
Yeah.
There he is. Geronimo!
I'm so sorry. Junior.
Molto bene. As you said, molto bene. Oh.
David Tennant doesn't feature a lot in the film, but I like the moments he has here.
Yeah.
Little man.
Did they know at the time that he was going to be the next Doctor when they filmed this film?
Maybe not. I mean, I'm not sure. Depends when he filmed his scenes. He must have filmed them like early 2005.
I remember as a kid, I was kind of shocked seeing Tennant as a bad guy because he was the next Doctor.
I think this scene is one of Gambon's best. Like, we get to see more of him as a genuine Dumbledore in this one, whereas before he was just pretty much the replacement for Richard Harris. This time he's getting into the character.
He seems
now.
to have less scenes with Harry when Michael Gambon takes over, because he didn't really have any scenes with him in Prisoner of Azkaban, but he does have a scene here with Harry, which is good.
Yeah, and at the end, but also gradually towards the end, he'll get more scenes. Like in the Half-Blood Prince, that's when Gambon gets the most to do, because Dumbledore features heavily in that story.
Oh, that's the film where he dies.
Spoilers!
By the way, did you delete your series 1 to 8 rankings?
Yeah, I did.
Louis told me, yeah.
Well, because the thing is, I'm doing I'm reviewing Doctor Who from Doctors 1 to 12. I'm doing mini rankings, so I thought, well, I might as well just delete them, you know, because I started fresh. So yeah.
Plus, your opinions might change as well. So
maybe, yeah. I mean, obviously, the mini rankings for the newer series will take a little bit longer to figure out because there's more stories, but still, that's what it's going to be for, you know, the remaining reviews. Obviously, Doctors 3 to 12 because I've done Doctors 1 to 2. So
yeah. Well, you're nearly halfway through the Pertwee era.
Yeah, nearly.
Yeah. Look forward to your Tom Baker reviews whenever you get to them. As he's my favorite Doctor, but yeah, Al Pacino. So
Snape. Alan Rickman hasn't gotten a lot to do in this film, actually.
Hasn't got a lot to do, or he has?
He does. Well, I don't think he's had a lot to do in this film.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe they just didn't think that they needed to focus on him as much in this film.
Yeah. Well, they still give him this scene and a couple of moments, but
it is weird that there's only one Harry Potter film where they don't focus on Voldemort, and that's the third one.
Yeah, that is a bit strange.
I mean, I suppose it's nice to have a break from Voldemort in every film, you know.
Yeah, because in the sixth one, the Half-Blood Prince, Voldemort, like Ralph Fiennes doesn't appear as Voldemort, but we get to see like young Voldemort when he was a boy and when he was a teenager. So we get to see younger versions of him, but he's still in it, but we don't see the current version of him. And then he's in
yeah. My brother actually got the Deathly Hallows game for the Wii recently.
Which one?
I think part 1 or no, part 2, because they had to fight at Hogwarts.
The part 2 game is a lot better than part 1.
Yeah.
I mean, but I still enjoyed the part 1 game. It's just the controls aren't as fluid.
Yeah. I have to say the Goblet of Fire game for PS2 I was quite disappointed with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weird. For me, best film, worst video game.
Yeah.
The video game sucked. The video game terrible, in my opinion.
For me, the Philosopher's Stone game's probably my favorite. Well, the Chamber of Secrets one. Yeah.
I think it's a tie between both of them because they're both so similar to me.
It's great that you get to explore Hogwarts and all that in those games.
Yeah. And it's a shame they kind of lost that towards the end. I mean, the last game when you could do that was Half-Blood Prince, but there wasn't, like, it wasn't as detailed. You could explore it as much. and then Deathly Hallows Part 2. I wish you could explore Hogwarts at the end, but no, all you have is levels.
No,
You have the level.
it annoyed me because the first two games you could really explore Hogwarts, go in and out of doors, go in and out of the school, really explore it. With what annoyed me about the Goblet of Fire game was that it was a much more linear path. You had to do the levels, go down a linear path. It wasn't as open world, which kind of annoyed me. But yeah.
Yeah, what also annoyed me was the fact that you'd have to go back and do levels again to get these stupid Triwizard crests to unlock the next level. That really started to annoy me, and in the end, I gave up the game. Thought, no, what, screw this. I'm done. I can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah, same.
I mean, the task levels were good. The 3 tasks were great for players, but the other levels were just meh.
Yeah, it was just. I think the problem was that you couldn't explore Hogwarts. wasn't as open world. Like with Goblet of Fire, you had to do the levels, and it was a much more linear path. You had to go down a linear path. You couldn't explore Hogwarts and sort of explore it for yourself. So, yeah.
They kind of did that with the last game as well. They made you do levels, but at least the levels were. You didn't have to go back and get those stupid crap. It was basically just an action game. You just had to fight the entire game, which was still fun. And it was it was a fun game, but it was very short. I mean, part 1 it was still a linear progression, but you didn't really explore much because you're in different environments each time.
Yeah, this is a good trial.
I mean,
here.
back to
yeah,
the third task, the maze, which is also very scary.
I do remember as a kid really enjoying the trials. It is cool, the whole Triwizard tournament, even if it is a bit ridiculous that they, put their students in so much peril.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that the maze is actually alive and it actually moves, and they have to get away from the maze that will really trap them.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it a lot more tricky. I mean, mazes are already hard to find the exit to, but for the whole maze to change, that would be almost impossible to get out of. But yeah,
I mean, if only Dumbledore had given him a map.
Oh, and by the way, Harry, here's the exit. Bye.
Yeah. X marks the spot.
That is a fucking huge maze. How the hell did you get out of that?
Lord knows, but only Moody knows where it leads. Oh, sorry, not Moody. Barty Crouch Jr.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson, he's just isn't very good in this film. I mean, he's okay, but yeah. Like you said, he's a bit of a pretty boy.
He's all right. I think he does well with what he has. He doesn't have a lot of scenes in this film.
I'd rather have him than what's her name, Kristen Stewart or whatever her name is.
Oh God, she can't act for shit.
Yeah. I saw that film Snow White and the Huntress, and even though she is attractive, I'm sorry, but Charlize Theron is more attractive than Kristen Stewart. Oh.
Kristen Stewart's such a blank face. I mean, I found Snow White and the Huntsman boring as fuck. It's so boring, and it just tried to be Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Charlize Theron, she is stunning in that film. I mean, she is a beautiful woman, and the fact that Kristen Stewart is playing Snow White, and Snow White in the story is supposed to be more beautiful than the Queen. It just didn't make sense to me because Charlize Theron is a lot better looking than Kristen Stewart. But yeah.
To be fair, it all comes down to opinion.
Well, I think most people will agree.
Very dark. There's a lot of fog in this maze.
Oh fuck! What's happened to Crumb?
He's been bewitched. So Moody's put him under the Imperious curse.
Crumb bum.
Yeah, the Bulgarian bonbon.
He's got a lot of crumbs on his shirt.
Fleur seems to be pretty useless, really. She keeps getting caught in everything.
Yeah. Oh, fireworks!
Whoa.
I bet Harry wish he had a levitation spell so we could just fly out of that maze. To be honest, if anybody was going to succeed at the maze, it's Harry, because, I mean, he survived Voldemort, for God's sake.
As a baby. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Ron Pattinson, he's not bad, but, you know, he's just not a great actor either. You know, he's okay. Oh, Harry, you gay for him? Is that why you're grabbing his shirt? Joking.
This is quite good, this moment.
Yeah. I mean, just out of interest, why is Goblet of Fire your favorite? I mean, I'm not, you know,
Watch my review. No.
Yeah.
Well, I've always loved it. It's for me, it's epic. It's a transitional point in the series. It's like with Voldemort coming back. It's the coming of age story with the kids growing up and sort of discovering the opposite attractions. I think it has a great balance of light and dark, and for me, it's just it's magical. You know, I've always loved it. You know.
Yeah. No, I can see why you love it. I mean, it's definitely a great film, a lot better than I remembered. And I think if I were to do a ranking of the Harry Potter films, this one would be quite high up on the list. So,
I can understand, you know, why you'd prefer the first two. Yeah, I guess I also have a bit of an attachment to this film because of the surprise of actually going to see it the first time.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's like rewatching this. This is definitely, my opinion's definitely changed a lot. I think if I were to do a ranking, this would be quite high up on the Harry Potter film ranking list. I mean, obviously, Chamber of Secrets is my favorite, but I think maybe this could be my third or fourth favorite. You never know.
Ooh. I love this scene. This finale is fantastic.
Oh, is that a reference to Voldemort Riddle there?
Well, that's the grave of his father.
Oh, that's interesting.
He was named after his dad.
Yeah. He hated his dad because he was a muggle.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Voldemort hates all the muggles and stuff, but his dad was a muggle, you know, so he hates himself, basically.
The reason why Voldemort is incapable of love is because he wasn't conceived through love. The whole backstory is that his mother basically used the love potion to lure Voldemort's dad into bed. Avada Kedavra. Well, he's dead.
Oh.
It's funny how they use the spell to kill people. They call it Avada Kedavra, which sounds so similar to abracadabra.
Yeah. Maybe that was a reference to that.
Oh.
He's making Voldemort.
I mean, when I saw this the first time, my sister had to be taken out. She was very young at the time. She was only 6. I was 8. And my mum had to take her out during this scene because it was very scary. Really
was she crying or was she scared or?
No, but she got a little bit frightened. I just saw them go out. So
what bit are you on?
The bit when he cut his hand off. Ooh.
Dark Lord shall rise again. Oh, shit.
Radcliffe's acting in the scene is really good. Oh. The visual effects and CGI here are great.
Yeah. Voldemort returns.
And here we are. The first ever appearance of Ralph Fiennes as Lord Voldemort.
Why did Ian Hart not return to the series?
I have no idea.
I think Ralph Fiennes is really good.
Yeah. He said he had a lot of fun playing Voldemort, actually. But it was really good, really fun.
Voldemort's one ugly fuck. How does he sniff if he has no nose?
Well, he's got the slits, isn't he? Like,
Little slits, yeah.
what?
Can you imagine if, like, he said, "Harry, where is your wand?" and Harry just said, "Who knows?" It's funny that that actor, I forget his name.
Timothy.
Yeah, Timothy Spall. Yeah, it's interesting that he returned from Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do much in this film, but yeah,
Scabbers.
Wormtail.
It's so funny. For years, Ron had Scabbers, and then it turned out he was this guy.
Yeah.
Does Ron mention Scabbers in Goblet of Fire?
I don't think so.
Probably
Moved on.
Yeah, he's probably gotten over that now. Oh, the Death Eaters.
13 years it's been, and yet here you stand.
Voldemort does look very weird. I mean, the design's good, but you know, he kind of looks a little bit like a skeleton.
Yeah. But I love Ralph Fiennes' performance here. It's chilling.
Yeah, he's very good. He was the perfect choice for Voldemort. I mean, because he's a great actor, so you know, it was great that they cast him as Voldemort in these films.
Lucius.
Oh shit! Yeah, because of course in Chamber of Secrets he was the one who put the Tom Riddle's book in Harry's cauldron at the bookstore.
Yeah.
He wants to serve Voldemort because he believes in the purebloods, doesn't he? I think that's it,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
I think so. Also, Voldemort takes over his house in the Deathly Hallows.
Slytherin. Oh, shit! He repaired his hand.
See, he is nice. He does have a soft side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Voldemort likes a cup of tea once in a while. Probably sits down, watches the telly. You know.
You know, it is weird thinking about it. Voldemort, he's a bit of a pedo. I mean, he's obsessed with a teenage boy. For a lot. I mean, either that or he's gay. You know, because
yeah.
You know, I mean, he even said to Cedric, you know, such a handsome boy.
Ugh. Not only that, but it's like he was even obsessed with Harry when he was like a young kid at 12. I mean, you're right. I mean, he must be Herbert the pervert from Family Guy. I know what boys like. I know what guys want. I know what boys like. Boys like me. Yeah.
Things have changed. This is weird, this bit. I could touch it now.
God, can you imagine he was talking about Harry's penis?
Oh, some people have done like YouTube poops of this scene.
Oh, have they done that? Oh God.
Oh,
No, have they done YouTube poops of him touching Harry's thing? Well,
Potter.
I love that YouTube poop of Harry Potter where it's Prisoner of Azkaban, and you know, and he's doing the spells under the covers, but in the YouTube poop, he's reading like a porn magazine instead of spells. Well, can you imagine this is Brosnan? No!
Crucio.
Radcliffe's acting here is very good. I feel bad for Harry.
Well, I mean, yeah, shit, he's being tortured by a Dark Lord.
Not a very nice guy, Voldemort.
No.
Not very understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is so weird looking, Voldemort, but nonetheless, good CGI. The CGI stood up very well.
Oh, yeah. I think he looks really, like, scary, and I love the prosthetic makeup that's been done.
Oh, it's prosthetic makeup? I thought it was CGI they put in Ray Fiennes' face.
Oh, well, no, I mean, more like the head, because, you know, he's bald. So.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, Voldemort. You ever heard of a wig? Can you imagine if Voldemort wore a toupee? That would just be hilarious.
Oh, I love this bit when their wands connect.
Yeah. They would have that epic fight at the end of Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Yeah, they do.
I've seen that clip. It's a great fight.
Well, you want to see the whole movie. The whole movie's fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's funny because you got the red and the green, like, spells. It kind of looks a little bit like the lightsabers.
Funny enough, there was an article when the film came out, which said a review which said Harry and his Obi-Wand.
Yeah, funny.
This is great.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why the ghost of the old man appears. Like, that's just a bit random.
Yeah.
Guy who dies at the very beginning.
Is that his parents?
Oh, yeah, his mum and dad.
Is it the same actor and actress? I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are these his actual parents talking to him, or are they just like fake visions by Voldemort?
Well, I mean, they're the ghosts of his parents.
Yeah.
Cedric saying, "Take my body back to my father."
Oh. This is actually a really good film.
Oh, you're surprised.
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah.
I'd say it's definitely. I'd say it an improvement over Prisoner of Azkaban. Not that that was a bad film, but this is a very good film as well.
I think all of the films are great. I mean, there isn't a bad one, but
Yeah. There's not a stinker in the whole franchise.
yeah.
Radcliffe's acting here is very good.
Oh yeah. I think this is such an emotional scene. This is the first time someone's died, like since Harry's parents. So.
Oh shit.
See, this is why they should scrap this tournament. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh, his dad.
Oh dear. Imagine your son dying.
You know, I'm surprised he didn't decide to, fucking sue the Ministry of Magic for this.
Yeah, I would.
They made Hogwarts do the tournament, and now his son died.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was me. I'd be trying to close the school down. I'd be suing them for fucking every penny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's entirely the school's fault, but I do agree that they would be partly to blame.
Some incredible acting by Daniel Radcliffe. I love the way how he's quite grief-stricken.
Yeah, everyone just stands there in silence.
Oh shit!
Like they don't really know what to do. You know, Cedric's just died. And...
Said HP on her cheek. Remind me of HP sauce. Well,
the music there was great as well.
Yeah.
2 hours, 12 minutes. We're getting close to the end now.
I wish they would re-release the Harry Potter films in the cinema.
Well, they cut. Whoa, funny you say that. A few years back, they did. 2016, before the Fantastic Beasts came out. They, in my cinema anyway, they re-released all 8 films and they showed them. I didn't get to see all of them, but I got to see a few of them. This was one of them, and I was really glad I got to see this one.
Oh, lucky bastard!
Yeah. I hope they re-release them again because they deserve to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Voldemort. Yeah, I think this is a really good film.
I'm really glad that you think that, and I'm really glad that this film has made a good impression on you watching it again.
Yeah, I think as a kid I was just kind of put off by it because it was a lot darker, and I think as a kid, you know, I just because I loved the first two, and I was more used to the lighter tone. Seeing this because it was even darker than Prisoner of Azkaban, I just think as a kid it kind of threw me off a bit. But rewatching it now, I think it's great. I mean, I still say probably Chamber of Secrets is my favorite Harry Potter film, but this is a very good film as well. You know.
And do you feel like it's moved along well and like and whatnot?
No, I think the story's very interesting. I think the tournament is great. I think Voldemort coming back. I think it's a great film. I don't really have that much. I don't really have that many complaints, to be honest. I don't really have any complaints. I mean, the only complaint I would have really maybe is it is a little bit grey and a bit dark at times, but that doesn't really damage the film for me. It's not like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think that was the intention, though. That this story is meant to be getting darker from this point onwards to the end.
No, I am enjoying this a lot. I mean, I definitely think this would go up in my ranking of the Harry Potter films. Like, I mean, I still have to review Azkaban first and then rewatch this before I give my final rating. But rewatching it, I enjoy it a lot more, and I think to me it's a step up from Azkaban. I mean, Azkaban was good, but I think maybe out of the first 4, it's the weakest. But this is definitely a step up. I mean, it's not to say Azkaban was bad, though. I mean, I still enjoyed that. It was still a good film. Like you said, there's not a shit film in this series, you know.
Yeah.
I think at the time I was just kind of disappointed as a kid because it was the tone was a lot different, and Harry didn't really get to fight Voldemort a huge lot, and it was a very different Harry Potter film, and I think that's what kind of disappointed me and my dad and my brother. But rewatching it now, I'm actually surprised by how good it is. You know, I'm surprised. You know, and that's a good thing. You know, I'm glad that I enjoy it a lot more rewatching it.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't found it like too long or like slow at all, like.
No, I haven't found it slow or boring or anything, which is good.
Oh, good. I was worried you were going to find it a little bit draggy in places, but oh. Well, someone should do an edit of that scene in Dead Man's Chest where they find Davy Jones's chest, open it, and then they see Moody inside.
That'll be funny.
You know, at the end when Davy Jones opens his chest, there's nothing in it. He opens it to find Moody.
Oh, this scene creeped me out as a kid. Really disturbing.
Yeah. Okay,
Ew.
maybe the CGI in this moment is a little dated, but
It's quite creepy. I mean, as a kid, it freaked me out.
he made so much Polyjuice Potion to last a whole year.
Jesus, yeah.
Ugh.
How did he go back to his normal self? Like
The potion wore off.
Well, it was a bit convenient that it wore off at the moment that they found him.
Well, it was wearing off before they came in, actually.
Yeah.
When he was looking for the vial.
No, I mean that scene with Mad Eye Moon, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Planet of Fire, the Peter Davison story, where the master shrunk down to a very tiny size, and he's in this like house sort of thing, like miniature house sort of thing, whatever, like box. He's in this miniature box. That's it. Yeah. I'll get back like a hero. Interesting to see David Tennant and Alan Rickman on screen together.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think Alan Rickman, before he did Die Hard and Harry Potter and all that, he was offered the role of Arnold Rimmer in the sci-fi comedy Red Dwarf. And Alfred Molina was going to be Lister. It's funny how they went on to have big Hollywood careers.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, he'll be back in Twilight. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I would have liked a few more scenes with Voldemort and Harry, but it doesn't like ruin the film for me at all. It's still a good film, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the only scene, Voldemort is only in the one scene in the book as well. So
yeah,
there's not much they could have added.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, you know, that's just me personally. I'm not, like I said, it doesn't destroy the movie or ruin it for me. I still think this is a very good film. Hagrid, or hello, Harry.
It's weird because from this point onwards, somebody dies in each installment, you know, and loads of people die towards the end as well.
Is that Harry? The H there?
No, I think the H is just for Hogwarts.
Oh, they're sad that they're kind of remembering the kid who, well, Robert Pattinson, who passed away.
Yeah, Cedric.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that he wasn't in the other films because I'm not a huge fan of him, but
yeah. I wanted him dead.
I'd rather see him fucking dead on the grind.
To be fair, when Dumbledore said he was murdered by Voldemort, that was kind of incorrect because it was Wormtail that killed him.
Yeah. Well, suppose Wormtail was working for Dumbledore, so... Sorry, not Dumbledore, Voldemort.
Yeah, I know. And I know he had his wand, but yeah, still, he was the one that did it. So.
Yeah. I'd kill Wormtail. I'm kind of glad that he cut his hair shorter for the next film, because, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about their hair being long in this film. I mean, it doesn't bother me or anything, but it just, you know, I think Harry, you know, can't have his hair too long, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of boys at that age did have long hair. I had long hair. I still do sometimes, but when I was in school, I did have quite long hair.
Yeah, no, I used to have long hair as well, but to be honest, I don't think I'll go for that look anymore. The long hair, I think I look better with short hair because I think sometimes I grew it out too much and it just didn't look great looking back at my older videos. But yeah.
I like to let mine grow a bit, you know. I like to grow out quite a bit and then get a haircut every so often.
Well, same, but yeah, But yeah, I agree. That's what I do as well. But I'm never gonna let my hair grow to like the insane rate that I did like a couple of years ago and stuff. And yeah, Hermione looks very sexy. Yeah.
Emma Watson, she's a pretty girl, very pretty.
Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I never like was because she was very young. I wasn't really into her, but as she grew up in the films, I definitely started to notice her a lot more.
Yeah.
I love that scene where they kissed Ron, and he's just kind of like,
Yeah.
he's a bit, yeah.
The weird thing is, later on in the series, Fleur actually marries Ron's brother, Bill Weasley, in the Deathly Hallows. So it's awkward. She becomes Ron's future sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, fancied her. This is a nice ending. I like the ending very much. They just when they leave and part company, and they all say goodbye to them, and there's a sense of friendship and unity in this film. Like,
can you imagine they said, "Thank you for killing our student. Bye." Well,
little Ron's line. Do you think we'll ever have a quiet year at Hogwarts? No.
well, that is Harry Potter. You can't have Harry Potter without something going on.
Everything's going to change now, and that's a good line as well. That's quite poignant, because this actually is the one where it all changes. This the midpoint of the series. Things become a lot more complicated, a lot more darker. It's only going to get worse.
because she's found out that Voldemort's come back. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, also just for all of them, things will get worse. Like as the years go on. I mean, they got 3 years left at Hogwarts. Well, obviously, one of them they don't spend in Hogwarts, but
yeah, and also they're gonna grow up a lot more, so have to take more responsibility.
Yeah,
that's one shit thing about being an adult. You have to take on more responsibility, but
growing up.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I mean, you can't stay in Never Never Land forever,
Yeah. Oh, Peter Pan.
Yeah. Can you imagine they just said that chart? Well, yeah, that's the end. Yeah.
That's the Goblet of Fire. I'm gonna give this film a round of applause. Woo! Well done, Mike Newell, and everybody that made this film. My favourite of the Harry Potter film series.
I mean, I could see why. I could definitely see why. I mean, I think rewatching this with you, because I haven't seen it since it came out of the cinema, I think my opinion of this has definitely gone up a lot. I mean, I still think Chamber of Secrets is my favorite, and I think I still slightly prefer Philosopher's Stone, but I still think this is an excellent film, and I think it's definitely an improvement over the last one. I mean, Prisoner of Azkaban was a very good film, but I think it was probably the weakest of the first 3, but this one definitely improved on that. But that's not to say Azkaban was bad. I mean, I think I agree with you. There's not a shit film in the series. They all range from good to excellent, in my opinion.
So, like in summary, what would you say? Obviously, I know you're going to rewatch it and re-review it for the channel, but just for the sake of the rating and just your overall thoughts, basically.
Well, I mean, I'll give my overall thoughts and then I'll give the rating. I mean, I think overall, I think the film is very good. I like the trials, the Triwizard Tournament, and all that. I like the fact that the film deals with, like you said, coming with age and sort of growing up and learning to sort of, accept more responsibility, and also it deals with, teenage angst, I guess you could say, and like no, I mean, I think some great scenes. Like I love the ballroom scene. There's a lot of great things there's a lot of good things in this movie to like. I mean, my only criticism really would be maybe Voldemort could have had a few more scenes of Harry, but I mean it's more a problem with the book. I mean, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't damage the movie. It doesn't you ruin it or anything. And maybe it is slightly long, but it doesn't really, like I said, doesn't damage the film either. So
yeah.
So I mean, I think overall it's a very good film. I mean, it's nice the way they brought back Voldemort and they build that up and stuff, and I can definitely see why you love it. I mean, I mean, it was cool seeing this film in the cinema. I mean, even though I was a little bit disappointed with it as a kid, it was cool to still see Harry Potter in the cinema, and I kind of regret not seeing the other ones after this in the cinema. But I still think it's a very good film, and like I said, you know, it's gone up a lot in my opinion. Like as a kid, I just, you know, I think because I was a young kid and I'd seen the first two, and I was more used to sort of the lighthearted tone, the more charming Harry Potter. I mean, this film definitely does have a lot of charm and humor, but it's a lot darker. And I think as a kid, it kind of threw me off a bit. Also because as a kid, I couldn't really relate to them growing up and becoming teenagers because I wasn't a teenager yet. I couldn't really relate to that, and also because Harry didn't really fight Voldemort a huge amount in the film. There's only really one scene with him and Voldemort. I think that kind of disappointed me as well. But rewatching it now, I mean, I think it's a really good film. I think the build up to Voldemort's great. I love the trials and all that, the tasks that he goes through. I love the way it sort of deals with all that stuff of like being a teenager and growing up and all that stuff. So I mean, overall,
and also, sorry, what do you think of Mike Newell's direction and also the musical score?
Oh no, I think its direction's very good. I mean, I think the score is very good. I mean, I think he did a really good job after Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, this track here is lovely.
Yeah, I agree. No, I think he did a great job with the soundtrack in this film, and the guy did the soundtrack for this one. Of course, John Williams didn't do it, sadly, but I still think the soundtrack's good here, and I do think the direction by Mike Newell is very good. I mean, it's interesting after this that David Yates is going to direct every film in the series. I mean, I kind of wish that we would have more directors in the series, but at the same time, you know, fair enough. Like you said, I guess he fell in love with the world of Harry Potter, but yeah, I mean, it's a very good film. Maybe my only criticism would be maybe it is a little slightly long, like Chamber Secrets, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really damage it. And also, it would be nice if there were more scenes between Harry and Voldemort, but I still think it's a great film, so I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow. Awesome. I'm really happy to hear you say that. Well, I can pretty much wholeheartedly agree. I mean, well, as I've said, this is my favourite film of the series, and I think I've justified my reasons as to why. I think this film has it all. It is the perfect, well, near perfect package for me. It does have a kind of glaring problem with the story, like why would they host a tournament in the school if it's so dangerous, and why would you continue to host it if people die? Putting that to one side, because that is a big problem, putting that to one side, I really love this film. I think partly it was the experience of seeing it, but because it's just such a transitional film in the series, it's the one where everything changes. The characters come of age. There's themes of death, and you know there's more of a darkness embroidered, which is really cleverly done. And then there's also the humor, the light relief, which Mike Newell brilliantly established. I think he balanced the tones very well. And I like that he actually gave us some humor. You know, he didn't just force out the darkness, which is where I think Order of the Phoenix kind of went a little bit wrong. Not majorly, but it did have less humor. It was a bit more dark than this.
Do you think because I know I haven't seen it, but do you think Crimes of Grindelwald made that mistake even more, just making it way too humorless or not enough humor in it?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a grim movie. I mean, we'll get to the Crimes of Grindelwald at some point. I also love the soundtrack for this film. Patrick Doyle did a great job. It may not be as iconic as John Williams' ones, but like the tracks are lovely, and it's a beautiful score. It's a very well-made film. Also, they made the mistake of not showing the Quidditch match. I would have liked to have seen that. The 3 tasks are epic. I think this film also is one of the most epic Potter films. It has such a big scope, not only for the 3 tasks, but also for the finale with Voldemort in the graveyard. That scene is awesome. Ralph Fiennes in his debut as Voldemort, terrific, absolutely brilliant, and the effects on his nose as well. just superb, superb. There are some genuinely frightening scenes in this film, and I think it's worthy to mention David Tennant in his very small role of Barty Crouch Jr. He's very good. I like David Tennant in the film. Mad Eye Moody, he's a great addition to the cast of characters, and I love the scenes with the Yule Ball, like when they're trying to learn to dance and they're trying to get the girls to dance with them. It's all very funny stuff, and Hagrid's romance is funny as well. There's so many things to like about it. I mean, Michael Gambon as Dumbledore, despite the moment when he gets angry, he's very good. Yes, the film is long. It does go on a bit, but I thought that it didn't drag for me personally. I thought it kept the important bit to the book. It translated it as best as it could. I mean, yeah, it did leave stuff out, but I don't think it really. I mean, it told the essential story, and that's the important thing. It told Harry's story, and that was the important thing. Also, Gary Oldman's cameo, that's very nice. Just the look of this film is great as well. The visual style of it is just like the first three, but also great. I mean, especially in the Black Lake scene when Harry is completing the second task. Maybe like Robert Pattinson was a bit of a wooden. I mean, he didn't get a huge amount to do, and then they killed him off. But I mean, his death was quite powerful. It was very well done. I think the visual effects are great as well. The CGI is held up very well for a film that was released in 2005. It's impressive. It really is impressive. Mike Newell's direction is fantastic. I'm really surprised that he didn't stay to do another one. I would have loved him to have done Order of the Phoenix, but oh well, that's que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. And I like the fact that this film introduces tensions between the three characters, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. They will fall out with each other, which is kind of interesting. So, I mean, and also like Harry fancying Cho, Ron fancying Hermione, Hermione fancying Crumb. You know, all of the teenage romance stuff is done very well. And it's, I mean, and the Quidditch World Cup scene is good, although they don't have the match, which is annoying. The film is action packed, and for me, it is the best of the franchise. It's just got so much going for it. It's amazing. And I definitely give this film a 10 out of 10, without question, a 10 out of 10. But I mean, I love all the films, but this one has a special place in my heart. Especially as I was when I went to see it, I was surprised. It was done as a surprise, so I didn't know I was going to see it at the time. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. So I give this film a 10 out of 10. I think it's near enough perfect. But hey, it's just my opinion. If you for whatever reason don't like the Goblet of Fire, or if you disagree with us, that's fine. You know, just be nice about it. But yeah, as watch the credits roll, it's I look upon this film with so much fondness.
It was 14 years ago as well.
Yeah, 14 years old. It's for a film that was made 14 years ago, it's held up very well. So that's kind of my thoughts on the Goblet of Fire. So I guess we now move on to part 5, the 5th film, Order of the Phoenix, which is the first film to be directed by David Yates, who will still be with the series now, directing Fantastic Beasts as well. So yeah, Mike Newell was the last director before David Yates, which is interesting. So yeah, stay tuned for our commentary on the Order of the Phoenix, which will be coming ASAP. So yeah, I want to say thanks to Jack for doing this commentary with me, and thanks to the filmmakers, Warner Brothers, and Mike Newell for making such a great movie.
Yeah, it's interesting that Columbus did 2, the other guys did 1, and then David Yates has done like 8 now, 6 now or something.
Just seeing this, no dragons were harmed in the making of this movie.
That's funny.
I'd they put that. That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. And David Yates obviously still being with the series now.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen Crimes of Grindelwald, but I mean, maybe the argument could be made that he should step down since that film didn't get great reviews. But, you know, at the same time, I still think that he's a pretty good director. I mean, I like Order of the Phoenix. I think when I first saw it, I preferred it to Goblet of Fire, but my opinion may change on Order of the Phoenix as well. Like, my opinion changed on this film. It might go down in my ranking. I don't know. But yeah.
But yeah, that's it for now, folks. I think we've been on long enough, so we'll watching and listening. And please let us know down below what you think of the Goblet of Fire. Or if you agree with us, then great. But we'll see you next time for the 5th film, The Order of the Phoenix. So until then, take care, guys. Jack, do you want to say anything before we finish?
No, not really. Just hope you enjoyed the commentary, and let's hope this one doesn't get fucking striked.
Yeah, don't jinx it, please. Lol, don't jinx it. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Take care. Good night, and mischief managed. Stopping broadcast.